essentially Teddy. Yeah. Get it rolling since
Welcome
we
back
might as
to
well.
another episode of Return to the Dales. Hello, Internet.
Hello. Hello.
Hi everyone. The internet here is pretty bad. Hopefully we've got this session works, but it may not. So here we are in Cormier, having come south in order to recruit the dwarves to rebuild the civilization of Tethymar. We find ourselves following breadcrumbs across the country, putting us now from Cormier into Marsemba, the second largest city and thought to be the base of sedition, where Jesnar the Seeker has proposed to declare himself a new king, start a new dynasty. Only the second dynasty that Cormier has ever had. It's always been ruled by the Bereskia family. We've upset their plans pretty severely by the look of it, or maybe it's just a single hiccup for them, but a hiccup all the same. As we take care of the Vaughan family, who rule in the north on the edge of Gloriana, the last province of Cormier that broke away almost as soon as it was formed, or crumbled at least, didn't break away, it crumbled. And having cornered the Vaughan family within their estate, within their townhouse here, not far from the docks of Marsemba, we discovered that they were vampires. The circumstances of their transition are as yet unknown to us, though we have been given a few clues. In particular, there was a document written by one Master Benoit, who may be a mastermind behind the entire disaster that Cormier is currently experiencing. And it seemed that Vaughan was not behaving, or at least not performing, to the capacity that Master Benoit of Sembia was demanding. There was certainly a schism that had already begun, according to the documents that we found, and importantly, it also seemed that Benoit's faction did not have the hidden king, the infant king, the infant Boreskia boy, who is supposed to be the next king of Cormier, but has yet to be crowned. So a fair bit of information there to process. A fair bit of property to seize, more than we can carry, even with our wagon. And indeed, the fate of this very townhouse is no longer certain anyway. So here we are in Marsemba, and we're in a way back to square one, or perhaps we never really left square one. We just went on a tangent in a completely different direction. We're no closer to our goal of establishing a regime in Tethymar, but we are a lot more rich, a lot more powerful, and we have a far greater influence than previous, because we previously saved the life of the Princess Regent. We've now put a dent into the machinations of those who would launch the coup d'état. And destiny lies in our hands, as it always has been. We are yet to discuss what our next move is, but we are surrounded by furniture of an expensive nature, no shortage of weapons and simple, humble treasures, and with a significant amount of influence to boot. So I'll turn it over to you. Any ideas what comes next?
I think we pack up and get going, right?
We need to get out of here and go back to the princess.
That's what I mean.
Well, ideally, we'd get out before anything gets discovered, because we're going to get a better hearing in Suzale than Marsemba.
Yeah.
Because from outside appearances, we just killed an influential lord.
Yeah.
We need to load up the cart and get out of town. Good thing it's night. And hope the rabbit's outside.
Yeah.
All right. Finnick, what have you been doing? It hasn't been that long. You know, our assault probably took less than half an hour, and the cataloguing of the treasures maybe another half an hour. So what have you been doing for the past hour or so?
Probably just went for a walk around town and then back to the carriage.
Yeah, very good. And so as you're coming around the corner, like the party come out and they look around, and Finnick's coming around the corner with his carriage, and the party is probably loaded to the nines with plunder, put it simply.
By your leave, my grace, you ready? Get your ass in the cart.
Ah, yes, good. Murdering and pillaging in my name. My favorite.
Huh. Robber Baron.
I guess I'll just get in the cart without saying anything else to the rest of them.
Very good, very good. You ask no questions, you tell no lies, and we hit the road. There is not much in the way of law enforcement here, and if any officials that might stop us are easily swayed by the size of our swords and by the authority of our members, which neither of which is meant to be innuendo. And so we head over towards Suzale along the road here. And I think we're going to probably make it without any further incident.
Yeah, we're taking everything besides the furniture, right? Because that's a bit impractical. Just checking so I know what to add
I
to
think
the party
that's what
belt.
we decided.
All right, then I'll add that stuff.
All right.
But I suppose
All right.
at the moment just keep it together because it might be confiscated by like the Princess Regent anyway.
Yeah, true. In that case, I won't add it just yet.
Sure. So we make it back to Suzale, and the place is looking much as we left it, in a tremendous state of disrepair. But it hasn't gotten any worse. At least it doesn't seem to have gotten any worse. After we repelled Malistrix, the great deep dragon, and her rider, Captain Val, the man who would be king. Um, Perhaps by giving them a bloody nose, we have given Suzale and Princess Regent Alistair some breathing room. They don't have the resources to rebuild. Rebuilding during a war is probably pointless anyway. It just creates a new target to be burned down, a real waste of resources. But it hasn't gotten any worse. There have been no purple worm attacks. The dragon hasn't been seen in your absence, and thus the palace has cleaned up a little, giving them some breathing space that is so desperately needed by an exhausted populace and regime. Princess Alistair and her master mage, her prime wizard, court vizier, Caladne, are do what they can to accommodate you, indeed to accommodate your every whim. Your valued advisors now, your heroes, and you're kind of like personal saviors to her. She's an adventurer herself, so she's not going to start swooning just because you rescue her one time and save her life one time. But she's certainly in your debt, both morally and perhaps legally. And so there you are in the court. Your formalities are over. You've been presented with fine food and whatever wines and beverages can be found in this difficult time. What is your report?
We give the pouch of ashes to the Vizier, or just throw it down and say, "Here's Count Vaughn, as we said we'd bring him. Unfortunately, he's a vampire, and this is all that's left of him."
A vampire. And this is what remains. How long has he been since the transition? Since the change?
Moog looks at Flightless.
Right, we'll try to remember what was on. Was there a date on the note?
Ah, yeah. Relatively recent. Yeah, it was, yeah, probably sent this season, this winter.
Oh, it would have been yeah, letter for Vaughn. It's in Discoveries. And I suppose that'd be a
Well,
useful piece of information to hand over anyway.
yeah, I guess it would be.
He
the
pulls
same-
out the letter, checks it out, and then hands it over.
And the same Viziers that were in Arabelle were pulling the puppet strings on Vaughn as well.
And Flightless will try to mimic the sound of like the male wizard as well. He'll just remind that there was a war mage there as well.
Aye. And the bloody war mages.
Yes,
Well,
vampires, netherese, war wizards, all working together. Very concerning.
And Sembians, he'll say as well. Pointing at Benoit.
the conspiracy runs deeper than we had realized. But not deeper than we expected, the Vizier says. No. Well, it would seem that perhaps Marsemba will be an easier problem to deal with from here on in. And indeed, things have quietened down here in Suzail, at least temporarily. But we are no closer to finding my nephew, finding the hidden king. Did you discover any clues regarding his whereabouts in your journeys?
Only that it seems our enemies aren't in possession of him either. If this
Well, that
letter is anything to go by.
that is relieving, and yet any information might have been welcomed. If we knew where he was, who he was being held by, then we could focus our efforts on that. Alas, we are every bit as confused as we have been in the past.
Unfortunately.
Well, is there anything that I can do to honor you, to recognize the service that you have done in the name of the Hidden King?
Hmm. I did collect a list of grievances from the common folk of Marsemba. I understand you have a lot on your plate at the moment, but if I were to give you this, perhaps you might attend to their grievances when you have the time.
And the resources, the Vizier adds.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to consider the plight of the common people. All too often, we neglect those at the bottom rung of the ladder and focus only on what our peers are enduring, rather than the people who keep the entire country running.
Indeed. I'll hand over the list.
Spring is still far for our march to Telium, or do you have any other rocks to look under in search of Prince, the King?
We have searched far and wide, but the furthest shores we have not yet been to. The Anarok Desert remains undiscovered. Areas north and east of the Dales likewise have not been explored. and every agent we have sent south across the sea in a sea to Westgate has run into unfortunate ends.
And
It seems that
I was actually going to have Flighters speak out that part of the thing, the letter. Vaughn went to Westgate.
Mm.
Joral, do you know of this man, Kaletne? Yes, my liege. Joral is a member of the Uppers and has been for many, many years. Indeed, he remained loyal to the Uppers even after their organization officially disbanded. So he is not one of ours, but he is an ally then. Yes, my lady. He is not a Cormyrian loyalist, but our ideals are in sync with his own. Hmm.
Mm.
Well, it would be good to learn what he knows.
Indeed. Might you have any idea of his whereabouts?
Kaladne? Ah, I do not have any knowledge of this, but my understanding is that all good spies stay near the docks. So Westgate is a shipping city whose interests lie primarily in the inner sea, and thus it would be prudent for all eyes to be watching the docks.
Hmm. If we can encounter him, certainly would be useful.
Well, I would warn you that Westgate is a hive of vampires, but it seems that you are as experienced as any within this uh, within this particular issue, and thus perhaps there is little that I can offer you in the way of advice or warning.
Hmm. What do we think? I'll turn to the party. Shall we search for Giral and Westgate before we proceed north?
Makes sense to me.
All right then.
Spring hasn't melted the snow yet.
It would seem to me the fastest way to get there would be by boat.
Say again, maybe that's a bad decision. Maybe we should go north.
So where was Westgate?
Didn't you want us to find the dragon too?
Yeah, Westgate's right here at the bottom of the blue box.
I see.
Yes, of course. If are you referring to the dragon that attacked us here in the courtroom?
How long will it take us
Aye.
to get to Westgate?
At
Sorry,
some
go ahead.
point, it was suggested we ferret out its lair in the Underdark to stop it from attacking the
Wow.
city.
Absolutely, that would be most fortuitous. It would be a quest that I could hardly force upon anyone. But if you were brave enough to attempt to scour the Underdark in search of this creature, then it would certainly be one problem that we would gladly have dealt with. The dragon is thought to lay in the narrow sea, formerly a surface ocean in the area that is now the Anarok Desert, but which was drained millennia ago into the Underdark, where the sea has been sitting uh, turbulently beneath the surface.
Well, it seems most of our business, besides searching for Giral, takes us north.
Then let's
Many
go.
signs pointing to the desert.
Aye,
Mhm.
that's come with spring. How long does it take to get to Westgate?
It'd be a ocean journey, so but 200 miles by ship. I'm not sure.
Aye.
7 days, depending on the speed of your ship.
We got what's the date? How long do we have from calendar time before spring when we need to be back up at half to rally the
Oh,
army?
I think we still have a few weeks, probably about a month, I think, but I haven't really been keeping track of it.
I thought it was the beginning of the end of fall when we went over to.
Yeah, maybe it is 2 months then. Yeah. If you think it's 2 months, then you're probably right.
Well, if it's 2 months, a week there, a week back, week back up, we've got plenty of time.
Aye.
Well then, perhaps we'll see what we can do to search for Giral.
To Westgate.
All right.
Can you get us a ship, milady?
Yes, of course. We will give you one of the royal privateers to a name that we can trust.
Excellent. I thank you for your generosity.
All right. So this is one of the few directions for which I am not prepared. I do have information, but it's in other games. It's never been imported into this game. So I guess I will look into that.
You sent us there.
Oh man, I say it's a sandbox.
We
right?
could have gone anywhere. Like
Right,
there were
yeah.
so many
Exactly.
places.
That was
Yeah.
the place that it was the last place to rock to look under.
Also,
Yeah,
You know,
that's right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. And like I said, I do have information on it, just not in this game. It has to be imported from other games.
yeah, we could have said, you know what, the mastermind is a Sembian. Let's go to Sembia. That would have been
Yeah, for that matter,
unexpected.
if you go to the narrow sea, I'd have to import that information as well. Yeah.
Then we need to get off to.
we just like just one of us like, oh, I hear there's like a treasure in Waterdeep. Let's just go there instead. It seems like there'll be less politics.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
then we need to go to Icewind Dales to talk to Driz the Word and talk about this.
Definitely. I have information for both of these locations.
Like
just need to
I
import it.
heard up in the spine of the world there's like an old oracle. We'll just go there.
Yeah, got that one too. Just got to be imported.
Because I know this is sort of like going to the CEO of Apple to get an iPhone, but like, is it can I write a letter to like, what's her name? Is it Caladne to see if they have like a scroll of Rary's telepathic bond? Because I don't know any other war mages yet.
You want a scroll of Rary's telepathic bond? Is that what you
Yes.
want? What level is it?
It's level 5.
Level 5 scroll. She would be the sort of spell that she would want. She would have. You're not much of an international conspirator if you can't speak over the planes. So she will probably spend 5 hours making up the scroll for you. Um, yeah, it's the sort of thing that she can do while still holding court. And so she gets onto it, and by the end of the day, some 6 hours later, the scroll is ready.
I guess while that's happening, he'll go out and because how much is 1 pound of adamantine worth?
5 grand, 15, right? 15. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Because I think he'll go out and sell 1 pound of it so that he could, give her something for it, and then he can scribe it into his books.
Who will you sell it to, though? I can't think of anyone off the top of my head who'd buy it.
Well, we don't have to sell any of the metal. We got money.
Oh yeah, can I just take some of the money?
Yeah, speaking of money, I should ask the princess about the things that we seized from Vaughn's estate and whether she wants to add them to the royal treasury or not.
No, we got an army to feed.
I says pardon?
Well, I'll bring it up.
You put your share in the royal treasury. We got.
It would be inappropriate for me to seize the assets of seditious nobles at this point. These are decrees that should be given by the king and not by the regent in his absence. I can take no such trophies nor prizes. However, In such a lawless time, it would be difficult for me to stop anyone else from doing the same.
I see.
Hint, hint, nudge,
I hope
nudge.
you do. I
Yeah,
hope you
we
do.
we start filling up the bags of holding now that we've got artisan back with the loot.
Yeah, I'll officially add the stuff to the party wealth now. We know we can keep it.
Yeah. Oh gosh, where is this stuff?
So I guess Flightless asks for 890 gold then.
Take it.
890. I think
Yeah.
that's 890. Yeah, I think that's
That would be 640 for the scroll, and then the rest of it would be for like material components for the to put it into his ritual book.
yeah, I think that's fair.
And surprisingly enough, there isn't a check for some reason.
Check.
Are you gonna become a wizard now?
He has a spell book and it's got spells in it.
Right, party wealth updated.
About time we got a wizard. Bloody wizards.
And I guess just to be clear, like it's only ritual spells. He won't be doing casting in combat.
Fine. Sure, there's plenty of utility that can be gained from those.
Talk about that. He's got another ritual he would want to spend money on. He'll spend some of his like own money on that one because it's only 10 gold.
Go ahead. Also, Westgate might be a decent place to liquidate some of these assets. I imagine it's, from what I heard, it's a place of shady sorts that'd be willing to buy just about anything.
And we should see if we can get some more Supremes
Supremes.
since we used some
Oh
more.
yeah. I think I have a few left. Shit.
I have one, but we should all have two for battles.
I have 3, I think. Yeah, I have 3 left.
So is there anywhere for us to buy Supremes so we could all get stocked up? Did anybody use them?
Whoa, I imagine potions are one of the first things to go. But the war wizards are not completely deficient. So yeah, roll a d4, and that's how many are available. You will have to pay for them though, and I'm not sure what the price is. It's like $2,000 or something. I can't remember.
Three.
Pretty severe. 3 is
Oh.
it? Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll double check the PDF, but I think it's something like that.
I say we spend the money on the Supremes.
They have proven to be quite decisive.
Make it so.
How about potions of speed? They got any of those kicking around too?
A potion of speed. We'll say that they have one.
Potions of speed 400 according to Sane magic item.
Level 3 potion. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Sold.
Here we go. Potions Supreme Healing. 1,350 according to the PDF.
Yeah, there's actually an official price for them, and yeah, it's much higher than that.
In that case, we'll go with 3K then, if that's what you'd prefer.
Yeah.
Was that the
Yeah,
same
that's the
price
one.
as the text file you sent us? With all the Red Wizards prices?
Red Wizards aren't available in Cormier.
So is there
Yeah.
a different price list?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. Yeah, there's two. There's actually two or more different price lists. But Supreme Healing, I'm pretty sure has an official price, like it's on D&D Beyond, I think. And yeah, it's about it must be the $3,000 one. That sounds pretty right.
Did you see my inquiry, Arctic?
No, I'm gonna be too busy to answer it, man. Whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can ask
Right.
it like in here if you want.
Do you
I'm gonna be importing
allow
shit for a long time.
the Strixhaven spell Vortex Warp?
I don't know it. Yeah. But I would normally say yes, except for fuck me, Strixhaven. That's like I've already banned straight out.
Silver
That
Barbs?
silvery barbs, and so it makes me, curious as to what other spells I have there.
I'm saying, oh,
If the rest of you guys want to have a look at it, go ahead. I'll keep doing this.
saying, did you
I
find it
quoted
too
the
powerful?
description.
It looks like a
Yeah.
spell that essentially forcibly teleports a target.
90 feet.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Strixhaven less and less with everything I look into it. Like I was looking pretty forward to a Harry Potter style thing, and maybe it's good in a Harry Potter style campaign, but like power creep was a big issue in second edition and in third edition, and like they kept it under control in fifth edition until fairly recently.
I mean, at least
but now
they can't you can't teleport someone 90 feet into the air with a spell.
Yeah, but if
You can still move them, but I thought it's not as bad as you initially thought it would be.
No, it's
Yeah, it
really
does have to
difficult.
be on a surface or in liquid.
So if you're fighting like a single melee boss, you basically give the entire party 2 free rounds. Fuck that.
Or if you're fighting a wizard who's like hiding behind his minions, you just teleport
Now
him
he's next to
into
the
middle of your
assassin.
party.
Yeah.
And it's a con
On a
save
con
wizards
save,
aren't
yeah.
that good at.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, like when they got rid of what's his name? Anyway, the guy that used to be in charge, Mike, whatever. And they promoted him to a different job, and they put other people in charge. And since then, it's just gone to shit. Like, the balance has been thrown out. It's really disappointing.
And also,
it was
like-
such a balanced game, 5e. With so many different options and influence, they still managed to keep it relatively balanced. There was some things were OP, like your Gloomstalker and so on, but for the most part, it was pretty good. And I don't know.
And just
It feels
imagine,
like
like,
they're
as a
not
DM,
bothering
like,
anymore.
using that against the players. Like, they just step out and now suddenly Flightless is in the middle of, like, 6 ogres.
And and then that's it. And just and they can't be revivify or whatever. It's just they'd be held to pay.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I've imported a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, do we want
Anyway,
that'd be 9K for all 3 of them.
Yeah.
If we do want them, who's carrying them? I already have 3, so I don't mind not carrying any. Who doesn't have one on them right now?
Oh, Flightless doesn't?
I have one.
I guess one.
One what?
Supreme healing potions. Like, who wants to carry them? We've got 3 that are potentially going
Moog
to
takes 1, then I'll have 2.
Okay, so Moog takes 1, Flightless takes 1, and Sildarin takes 1. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Unless, do you have one, Pyra?
I probably do.
Should check.
We left with the came down here. Everybody had two.
2 Supremes. Wow.
Yeah, I think
That's-
each of us have around at least 1 or 2 of them each.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
Not
we
like we haven't used them all. Depleted the store. When you get an army of elementals coming at you.
yeah. It's like drinking money.
If I'm wearing an Ion Stone, does it take the benefits of me having the Cloak of Displacement on?
What do you mean?
No idea.
Oh, okay. Because it's a 24 AC.
Oh,
It's basically
for
a
an
small
Ion
stone
Stone.
that floats around your head, and while it's floating
Yeah.
around your head, people can target it.
what does the Cloak of Displacement say? Does it say it specifically protects you?
Let's see. When you wear this cloak, it projects an illusion that makes you appear to be standing in a place that's not your actual location, causing any creature disadvantage on attack rolls against you.
I guess it'd be up to the DM then whether something like an Iron Stone counts as you or not.
It does float around your head, so I'm thinking it would do 2 images of you.
Hard to say. Nobody's targeted your Iron Stone yet, so I guess it will become relevant if someone does.
Yeah, I actually haven't had it on in battle, but if I do have it on in battle, it helps me greatly. Yeah. When you use an action to toss one of these stones into the air, the stone orbits your head at a distance of 1d3 feet and confers a benefit to you. Thereafter, another creature must use an action to grasp the nets or net the stone to separate it from you, either making a successful attack roll against an AC of 24 or successful DC 24 dexterity check. You can use an action to seize or stow the stone. And stone.
And it has like 10 HP or something, doesn't it?
Yeah. 24 24 AC, 10 hit points, resistance to all damage. So is that automatic disadvantage since it's resistance?
No, resistant would just mean it
it's
takes half
half.
damage.
Okay. Yeah.
So that, I mean, at least that would mean a fireball wouldn't instantly destroy it.
It has 10 HP. Fireballs regularly roll higher than 20, so it should still destroy it.
Yeah, so still might just be a good idea when we get into combat, just put it in your pocket.
Yeah. Would it take the advantage of my shield master feat though?
I don't know. We're getting into some weird, like,
Yeah.
vague territory that I haven't
Because I
thought
think
about.
Iron Stones are basically ported from other editions, so I have no idea either.
Alright, I'll deduct 9k from the party wealth since I'm pretty sure we're going to buy these potions. And I think it was decided that Flightless, Moog, and Sildarin will add 1 to their inventory.
Sounds good.
Aye.
Alright.
Righto.
We also have 10 like normal healing potions in the party wealth. But I guess at our current level,
Could have got to have that Kool-Aid.
yeah, normal healing potions, it barely heals the scratch at our level.
Which is a strange thought, isn't it?
So apparently,
It's like, but the book goes on and on about how HP isn't linked to your physical toughness. But then, why do healing potions just go obsolete then?
I don't know. Low level magical healing does as well, like first level cure wounds is pretty pointless at this level.
how much HP is everyone rocking?
I'm at an infuriating 99.
Haha, I'm at 100. Fuck you.
83.
Re.
It's like the lit. There's two liches, and one of them runs forward and unarmed strikes you for 1 damage, and the other one casts Power Word Kill.
Yeah.
Moog's at 110.
Nice. Also,
95.
I think Power Word Kill kills you at 100 or below, so you need 101 to survive Power Word Kill.
I think that's right.
Only Moog is immune.
Well, not unless he gets beat up first.
True.
He's
Well, I've
been
never
killed
seen
twice by wizards.
Power Word Kill actually used in a game.
Because I think because if players don't take it, because you never know how much HP an enemy has, and I don't think DMs take it either because they know how much HP their party has.
Yeah, and
Because
it's also
taking
kind of
Power
a big-
Word Kill is basically saying it's just DMs who woke up and chose violence because they just want to kill a player.
Yeah, I think you'd only try that if your party had like reviving options on hand, like Revivify.
Or like you
Otherwise,
do
it'd
it
be-
because you know the party has plenty of counterspell options, so you cast the spell to try to force them to waste a bunch of spell slots to avoid that.
Yeah.
Like against us, like
can-
it's just Arctic would have the choice of who to kill.
Pretty much. Except unless they had Death Ward on them, in which case I think Death Ward hard counters Power Word Kill.
I don't think it does because you just die. Your HP doesn't change.
Death Ward negates.
Yeah,
instant
you
death
just drop to 1 hit point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Death Ward negates instant death effects. Yeah, if the target
guys
is subjected to an effect that would kill it without dealing damage, the effect is negated. And the spell
Okay,
ends.
so it would just do nothing. That's what Death Ward would work.
Yeah, I'm quite fond of Death Ward because it not only protects you against Power Word Kill, but also protects you against some certain attacks which, upon dropping you to 0 hit points, kill you instantly, like Finger of Death, or I'm sure there are other examples that don't immediately come to mind.
Oh, reaching 6th level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
But would that just protect you for like 1 round and then you'd die? Because you're still at 6th level of exhaustion? Or would it prevent you from accruing that 6th one?
I really don't know. I haven't thought about that.
All right, so I've done the importing I need to do. I haven't read what it is, and it relates to an old campaign as well. So I'm not exactly sure how specific the information I've got is to that campaign, which was done many years ago. It's from a relatively early iteration of the Dales, but it's information, and whether it's accurate or not is if there are any inaccuracies, then we can sweep them under the carpet and put it down to mistranslations and misinformation and so on. So that's good. That's good. So by all means, keep discussing the things that you are discussing, or if you want, the boat is ready for you to set sail.
I think we're done, right? I think we can proceed.
Yeah, but
I think so.
Before we proceed, I would actually like to cast the Find Familiar spell.
Sure.
Speaking of familiars,
He's a real wizard now.
Is there room for a horse on this boat?
Yes. Yeah, there is.
All right. Wondering whether I'd have to dismiss my horse or not.
I was thinking, do I go with the rat or like the raven?
Can we load the cart in our horses that we brought?
Yeah. Can we take our stuff on this boat? It said it's a privateer boat, so I think it'd be pretty large.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. It's a cog, which is a pretty big boat, And nominally it's a trade vessel, but it's the only reason they're actually going out is to ship you guys. So all other actions that they're doing is just a cover to get the secret agents, i.e., you guys, down to Westgate.
Actually, yeah, I'll go with the raven. That sounds like a thematic animal.
Yeah.
A raven with a raven on his shoulder.
Yeah.
We can try.
It will
Is
be-
that one town?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
It'll be Celestial Raven. So how long will it take to get from Suzale to Westgate?
About 7 days, not very long. Yeah.
Is that town or city now equipped with a shit ton of ballistae, or how many?
Yeah. Maybe 10.
Okay. Enough to maybe shoot down a dragon if it comes flying by again.
Yeah, but depending on where they're positioned, if you want to concentrate them or not.
Disperse them amongst the walls, I guess. There are walls to the city, right?
Well, yeah, I'm sure there would be. There's actually a map of Suzale, but anyway, I'm sure there would be. But like it goes around. It's a pretty big city, and so 10 ballistae, evenly dispersed, would not cover each other's arc of fire. Or you could put them all in one place, and it's.
I guess around the keep, since the guy always goes for the princess or whatever.
Good choice. Good choice.
He'll be heading in that direction at some point.
Yeah. Also, please don't roll a 1 on the random encounter table. I don't want to fight a kraken.
We have Lord
Aha.
Phoenix.
Why not?
Just activate invincibility mode and just shank it with a dagger until it goes away.
True.
We have Lord Phoenix carriage loaded up.
I guess we could actually slap a kraken about pretty nicely at our current power level.
I
Yeah.
reckon it'd regret meeting you. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, y'all, I've taken haste and also enhanced ability, which I can cast 6 times with a spell stored item. You can cast it up to twice your intelligence modifier. So I could take 6 actions and give you guys an enhanced ability whenever you want it.
All right.
That's so it could be Bear's Endurance. The target has advantage on Constitution checks, also gains 2d6 hit points. Bull Strength gives you advantage on strength checks and doubles your carrying capacity. Cat's Grace, advantage on dex checks. You also negate fall damage for 20 feet or less. Eagle Splendor, advantage on charisma checks. Fox's Cunning, advantage on intelligence tests. And Owl's Wisdom, advantage on wisdom checks. So if y'all ever need that, I could do that 6 times in a day.
I'd say Flightless is usually the one who would benefit the most, because I think he's the one that would typically make a skill check, like investigation or perception.
All right.
I was gonna say on wisdom, but he wouldn't.
You already have just advantage all the time, don't you?
Yeah, if I move less than half my movement, and if it's sight, it's just always.
Intelligence then
Yeah.
maybe instead, so you have advantage on your investigation check. Good to think about.
Yep.
All right, let's proceed.
Oh no,
Alright.
but steady eye also
Well,
affects investigation, but sorry, Arctic, I didn't hear.
Yeah, no worries at all. No worries at all. Every spam that you say gives me a few more moments to do some review, so it doesn't. I'm more concerned for the players. You know.
Okay, so if you need a few more moments, Flightless will present his bird to
man.
Eleanor then.
Another 4 hours would be helpful. Anyway,
Very cool.
So it turns out that we're not traveling on a cog, which is a kind of like a small galleon, a warship of a slightly more primitive nature than the Age of Discovery Spanish galleons. We're not traveling on one of those anyway. We're traveling on a cutter. A cutter is faster. It's only going to take 5 days. It's smaller, and it's sleeker. Our captain is, of all people, a dwarf. A dwarf who doesn't particularly like the water. But here he is anyway, a captain on the ship. The man's name is Brotor. Brotor is a former gladiator and a warrior. His beard is cut and braided in a square fashion. If you're familiar with what the Babylonians, that Hammurabi and the like used to dress, braided beard with that ends in a rectangular base. This dwarf wears eyeliner. And he dresses in relatively fine silk. So his bearing, his appearance are in conflict. The man's a warrior by nature, a great fighter, and an experienced gladiator, and yet he dresses like a nobleman or a priest or something. And here he is captaining a ship, a series of juxtapositions all placed together on one. He doesn't ask any questions.
Moog starts him up. Is he
Yeah,
higher
yeah.
lower level than us?
Is he higher level? He's about the same. Are we level 11?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is exactly the same level as us. Or maybe he's level 13. Anyway, yeah, he's either the same level or perhaps just slightly higher. Um, and he lines you up using the exact same ability as you because he's also a fighter. So he uses the same ability as you do, and there's a kind of, I hope, mutual respect in that you both recognize each other as formidable people, experienced and stern and stoic. He's not unlike Moog, really. For you are both in many ways classic dwarves, masculine and enduring and wise, and you keep to yourselves. Like grandfatherly figures, if you will. So he doesn't ask any questions. And he doesn't really engage in any conversation unless you want him to, in which case you find him to be, if not polite and genial, then at least honest and forthright. Is there anything that you wish to talk to him about?
Other than dwarf things.
He's very interested in dwarf things. So I understand that you've got an interest in Tediamar.
Aye, we've been there. We're going back.
Aye.
Bringing half with us.
Well, I'd like to know what you found there, if you don't mind.
Found a lot of metals and gold.
Oh.
Found this armor.
Aye, splendid it be. You must have made it deep if you were able to find that. You must have gotten further than just the upper levels.
Aye, there's a dragon guarding it. A metal one.
A dragon of steel?
Aye. Was it adamantium?
He'll also nod his head when
Adamantine.
he'll nod his head when you say adamantine.
A dragon of adamantine.
Say
How amazing! It has been a long time since I was lost for words, but I feel it now. Oh, and why aren't you there now, then, boy? So
Our
you should
army's going
be.
back. We're waiting for spring. And the army to mount and getting things prepared.
Where are
We'll be
you?
marching.
Waiting for spring. You know, I don't think I want to stay on the seas forever. Would your army have room for one more?
Always room for a brother dwarf to help take what's ours.
Aye. Well, I'm Cormyrian, and so I feel an obligation to help out the Boreskirs to find this hidden king wherever he might be. He says, looking out towards the horizon in the east. But me blood holds more allegiance to me than me birthplace, and I don't think I could. I don't think I could possibly turn me back on me heritage if there was a chance for me to do what needs to be done. I'd like to be a part of your entourage, if you wouldn't mind.
Aye. Welcome aboard.
Hi, and
Half of Comerius coming to Half Hap to help us march in the spring. We got an army assembling there. So if we part ways here, meet us there in spring.
all right then. That I shall do.
What be your name, brother?
I'm Brotor, Brotor of the Stormhorns, though me family are well and truly of Tethiamar.
Very good. Do I know of that clan at all?
Probably, yeah, probably. He is one of the Tethiamar dwarves, and there's probably only about 30 families or something, all in all 30 clans, and it's likely that that you would know each other's bloodlines, if not know each other by reputation.
Well, because the clans are usually derivative of each other, so like a past clan can be like the namesake of another clan. Would I have known of his formers, or maybe even his grandparents or great grands? I don't know.
Yeah, certainly his lineage. Yeah, that's right. It's all. If you trace it back far enough, then you're going to know his roots, his ancestors. So the short answer is yes.
The Warforge here, he's the finest in the land. In the forge in the bowels of Tethymer, or what they said, filled with lava. And the Mithril and Amantine run free. It's all that was promised. We get him going in the forges again. We'll be making the best weapons and armor and material. It'll be a new coming of the age of the dwarves.
And also, from how excited you seem to be about it, in the future, I also plan to remake that adamantine dragon.
Incredible. It is as they say then, the mines were never played out. Tethiamar fell before the last of the mineral wealth was extracted. Is it as they say?
A demon made the king go mad. Poison corrupted their minds. We had to fight him. He was a ghoul.
Oh, not the demon, but the king. You had to fight the king.
Aye. He wasn't alive.
That doesn't go down well with him initially, but he ponders it and strokes his oily beard. Well,
What was the name of
you
that
had to do
demon?
what you had to do.
He was a dead man. He was a skeleton in his armor, casting spells. We read his tombs. It's the madness the demon caused that broke down the people of Tethermer with their demise. Promises of power.
Forgive me for saying that, which I don't really know, but is it not a legitimate thing for a king to do, to protect his realm even unto death?
Aye, but he locked it down. No one could leave. He put in martial law. People starved. He went mad with paranoia, and it rotted the minds from the inside out.
Well, it's not me to criticize a king, but had I been in charge, I think I would have engaged in a final stand. I don't think I'd lock myself away and me people. I'd want everyone to go down with a blaze of glory. That would be what I'd do.
the demon had a shrine in the middle of the mine. The demon was there when we got there, talked to us. We smashed it. What was the name of that demon?
He's interested in this.
Sorry, what was that?
Does anyone know the name?
What was the name of that demon?
I remember it was mentioned before. Is it
It was mentioned by
Tharizdun?
the guy, the dead cleric in the Tomb of the Dead. He told us the name. Oh no, the lady, the chick. She told us the name, the one that we met in the Underdark. The dead
Is it that one?
when we asked her.
I'm not saying.
There's Dune.
Because that's mentioned in the decrees of the Priest King.
Well, you would know you have the photogenic mind. Flyless can write out
Yeah,
the
because
last.
he was going to
We'll tell
repeat.
you in the last days, what we read in the tombs and all that
Yeah.
good stuff. The demise.
For the priest, for the captain, he was going to repeat specifically, I suppose, in Eleanor's voice, because she read it to the party. Like, the flesh of the fallen shall be consecrated by the priesthood and given to the maidens and children as rations.
Yeah, so we read him the whole, the what was written in the logs, in the decrees of
The decrees of the priest kings of Tediamar. Worship of the old ways is blasphemy and shall be punished accordingly. That'll probably get him the most, I think. That one.
Well, it sounds like you really did go mad. I guess you must have done the right thing. I hate to criticize the actions of a king, but well, this was the king that lost Tediamar after all, and so maybe a bit of criticism is fitting.
And it is. The demon was Tharizdun, because all citizens of Tediamar must now decree their souls in service to Tharizdun.
Tharizdun! Tharizdun! The great eye of chaos at the base of the abyss!
Flightless will nod his head.
Well, I don't know much about this Tharizdun, but I have heard that the abyss formed around him. Sounds like utter bullshit to me. But there are rumors that there was no abyss until Tharizdun tore out a piece of the heavens or something, and polluted it and tossed it into the darkness of the primal chaos. And it said that the abyss formed around him. Like I said, sounds like bullshit to me, but all the same, a famous and notorious fellow.
Actually, given Flightless's new academic knowledge, could he check that against his history or arcana?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I do the same if this guy was around 8,000 years ago?
Yeah, if he predates the abyss, then he predates the material plane. Yeah,
that's 25.
Well, he has it.
25.
Yeah,
Look, I'll give you a bit of in-game and out-of-character knowledge at the same time. Tharizdun, it's as Brotor says, he's thought to be like they call him the Mad God or something, the Mad Eye. And apparently he was like a human wizard that accumulated so much power that he rivaled Asmodeus, and he predates the demon princes and all that sort of stuff. Like, the guy is thought to be not just prehistoric but primordial, which is a contradiction because humanity didn't come before demons. Demons came before humanity, or whatever. So it's a bit of a contradiction. And out of character, it really is a contradiction because he's a retcon. He was a Greyhawk deity, a chaotic evil deity of insanity. And in 4th edition, when they rebuilt the metaphysics of the universe, they came up with some really some pretty bad ideas. Some of them were good, but some of them were bad. And in this one, it's like a single guy basically creates the abyss somehow by I don't know, stealing away a piece of heaven and polluting it. And so yeah, it's a pretty bad retcon. But what is important is that he is a truly insane god. Um, if you're familiar with the Cthulhu lore, then you might want to compare him to Astaroth, the black hole at the center of the universe that will one day consume all the universe and crush it down to make the next Big Bang. Like that's the level of power that he's thought to have. He will one day consume the multiverse into the size of a tennis ball, and then it will explode all over again.
That's all.
I guess he's the guy behind the simulation. That's Tharizdun. He's the one who programmed the simulation.
He's the reason that internet is slow.
He is the reason, because he is the sadist that I referred to earlier.
So I guess he'll just say something. Flightless will probably be like, "You're right then."
Well, you must have done the right thing then. Such a corruption cannot be allowed to exist, not in our civilization or any other.
Yes, agreed.
All right. Finnick, could you roll a D100, please? So while these guys are chin wagging Finnick, and they never seem to stop, you will notice a ship on the horizon, out somewhere towards the east. It's a bigger ship than ours, a big galleon. Looks like a warship. And it's several hours away. You know, the way the ocean is, you can see things long before they ever reach you. But the way these bastards are talking, they're going to keep talking until we have a head-on collision with them. What do you do?
Guess I'm going to point out and say, "Oh, look, another boat. Maybe they're having a more interesting conversation than this."
He gets out his spyglass and looks at it. Oh, Aglarondans, he says, from the far side of the inner sea, traditional enemies of the red wizards and witches and barbarians to boot. We'll be faster than them. Shall we dodge out of their way? He asks. I'm at your disposal.
Aye, get us to Westgate as fast as possible.
Aye. That is what we shall do.
Fighting another ship is only going to drown dwarves and not help us find the king.
So while they're looking at that ship,
agree.
can Flightless just walk the perimeter and make sure there's not something else trying to get up behind us? Maybe smaller ships or something like that.
Yeah. Sildarin, could you roll a D100 and we'll see what else is out there.
It just looks like on the other side of the ship, and there's just a kraken just sitting waiting.
Yeah.
2 krakens waiting.
Oh god. Don't want to interrupt that.
And the krakens look over as we're waiting for more to come. I want this to be fair and balanced.
Some serious hentai.
I think Sildarin said he had to go be AFK for a few minutes. Did he come back?
Did he? All right. Then you go ahead. You go ahead and roll then. Flightless.
Almost nice.
All right. In the other direction, you see a sperm whale that surfaces with a giant squid in its mouth. It's a several nautical miles away, but you are very sharp-eyed, and it more than anything just hones into the fact that that the Sea of Fallen Stars is filled with huge creatures, because that giant squid is a meal for something even bigger.
Christ.
With the ship that was just pointed out, I want to send my homunculus servant to fly over and basically just perch on their mast or whatever, if there is
What's
one.
the speed of your homunculus?
Not flight speed of 30, but if it dashes 60.
You might not catch back up with the boat because we're traveling at like 30 nautical miles, 35 nautical miles, which is and a speed of 30
okay.
is about 4 or 5 nautical miles.
Okay.
So yeah, if you send the homunculus out there, it'll never catch back up to us.
All right. Never mind.
No worries.
I wanted
You
it
want
to
to
like
s-
listen in on them and fly back if it heard that they were coming to attack us.
I mean, we could do
Sure.
that if you wanted to. We could find a random seagull. I could cast beast sense on it, send the seagull out because then we don't need it to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could try that.
Technically, you don't need the servant to come back either. I just need a long rest, and I can make another one.
Either
Well, I
way,
guess
both expendable things.
it's up to you. Yeah, that's it. Finnick, what do you say? It's up to you.
I don't mind. It's up to him because it's like his servant.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
offering to not deal with the servant.
But does the homunculus look like a normal bird?
Yeah, just metallic.
That's not normal, is it? Like,
Yeah, but
no,
Just a
I mean,
normal
like,
bird made of metal.
you're just a sailor and a metal bird comes and lands on your mast.
well, that
As you
wouldn't
do.
be a wizard trying to interfere with me sailing, would it?
Not
think,
a wizard,
I
so
think just a seagull would be better, but I mean, it is up to you.
yeah, the seagull can do it. I just didn't know if you would have to expend a spell slot that we might need.
No, I've got that. Natasha's Rangers things have been very kind to Rangers. I can cast Speak with Animal and Be Sense once per day for free without expending spell slots.
Oh, that's hot.
So I guess I'll
Yeah, it's like-
cast both of them.
I really like
I can
Natasha's changes because
do it.
it really does make you feel like you're one with nature as a ranger.
You don't have to like spend all your spell slots on like, I want to talk to this random cat, but like I don't want to waste one of my precious level 1 spell slots.
Yeah.
You can just do it.
Yeah, good call. All right, so so you send the seagull out, and because we're faster than the Aglarondan ship, it's likely that we'd have to then do a U-turn if we wanted to encounter them anyway. And by the time the seagull gets there, we're off in a different direction. And no, these Aglarondans are hunting a particular vessel. I think it's called the Eclipse. And apparently, it's a Thayan vessel, the Red Wizards of Thay. It's a Thayan vessel that has aligned itself with a cult, the cult of Orcus, the demon prince of the undead, and a group called the Cult of the Black Leopard, or the Black Leopard Society, who is an organization that you've probably not heard of in the past. It's like a DC of 20 or 25 to have learned about them. They're pretty unknown in this part of the world.
Actually, Flightless might have a chance at that one.
Yeah, you might have a chance. Go ahead and check it out.
What's the check? If so, I can give you the advantage.
26.
Oh, you
There we
got
go.
it anyways.
So the cult of the Black Leopard, or the Black Leopard Society, come from Karatur, far to the east, China, and in Karatur a long time ago, well over 1,000 years ago, they were kind of behind coups. They were like a power behind the throne that ended imperial dynasties, and like basically evil ninjas, evil monks, evil ninjas. And this organization was outlawed because of their penchant for coup d'etat, and thought to have been eradicated, but apparently not, or apparently either they survived all this time, or maybe somebody's just using their old name, their old reputation to rebuild it. But in any case, they to call them villains is, on one hand, it's extremely correct, and on the other hand, it's a little bit misleading, because in the East they don't really have this good and evil divide that is so common here in the West, here in Faerun. Good and evil is the most important thing here in Faerun, but in Karator, lawful and chaotic is the big divide. As long as the emperor, as long as society is lawful, then it doesn't really matter whether you're oppressive or cruel or vindictive or vengeful. As long as you're effective, as long as you're good at what you do, as long as you're principled, then everything else doesn't matter. So, like an organization like the Empire from Star Wars would be more welcome in Karator than the Rebellion would be.
So is this basically just a bunch of lawful evil ninjas versus a bunch of chaotic evil cultists?
Aligning with a bunch of chaotic evil cultists and the Red Wizard as well.
Down?
No, the Aglarons is a chaotic
them?
good society. Yeah, the Aglarondans, they're half elves basically. It's a half elf nation more or less, and they're the traditional enemies of the Red Wizards, and the Red Wizards have aligned with the cult of Orcus and the cult of the Black Leopard, and that's what these Aglarondans are currently hunting a single ship called the Eclipse. So apparently nothing to do with us, but as we've seen, everything seems to come together eventually, and it just might be one more piece of puzzle in a conspiracy too broad for most people to comprehend. In any case, we go so far beyond them that it would take us a day or two out of our journey to go back and find them for what is probably something irrelevant anyway.
Like the hidden king has been ferried away deep into the east. So, welcome to my Japanese camp.
There you go, and that's certainly a possibility. Like that this has something to do with the hidden king, and as you say, he might be as far afield as Karatur. For that matter, he might be as far afield as a completely different plane of existence. It's just no one knows, and nothing is impossible.
All right, everyone, re-roll samurais and monks.
Yeah.
I don't know. Being a Western knight in a Japanese setting sounds like it could be interesting.
You're right. Yeah, it could be.
Out.
Yeah, a real a truly exotic story as we'd be the Portuguese in Japan. Yeah.
Can we plane shift there? We still have a few of those scrolls, right?
Can teleport. Yeah. All right. Westgate. So, Westgate is a relatively small city geographically, but it's really tightly packed in. It's extremely wealthy. Probably got one of the highest wealth per capita of any place in the world. But it's got a really severe reputation as well. Really severe. Crime gangs, noble families, and criminal organizations are the same thing in Westgate. If you're not willing to be ruthless, then you're likely to be crushed by someone who is. Sinister reputation, but also a great place to visit because there's so much to do, so much to see. It's got the best brothels. It's got the best gambling halls. It's got an enormous arena that is whose only rival is Hillsfar. So a great place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there.
Who wants to do some fighting? No.
Yeah, I was out of character. The mention of the arena did entice me a little. I won't lie.
I think it'd be good earnings for one day until they realize, wait a minute, the Cormyrean woman is invincible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who bets against that?
Or the robot that you can't hit.
All right.
The fights could be more balanced though. It might be without certain equipment.
Or in Oblivion, where you had to wear the arena raiment.
Yeah, they might have preset equipment that they know hasn't been messed with, so you can't rig the fight.
Well, Broto knows a thing about the arena because he is a gladiator, and Westgate is where he's made his fame, so he can tell you all about that. Aye, they pull out all stops. They do in the Westgate Arena. Uh, they I've had naval battles inside that. Can you think of that? Naval battles inside an arena. They pull out all stops, as I said. They flood the whole bloody place, and they build ships just for us to burn them and tear them apart. There ain't nothing that they can't do there. Why, sometimes the bets that ride on fights they numbers in the tens of thousands, nay, the hundreds of thousands of gold pieces. Aye, people come from all over the world and even from other worlds to watch the arenas of Westgate. Say, he looks over at Morn. You look like a man that you could handle himself. Since you don't got so much of a reputation here, if you played yourself down, but not too much, you might be able to, get them to underestimate you, and a few of your friends here might be able to put a bet on you to see if and cash in on your lack of reputation rather than your reputation itself. On the other hand, you might be interested in all of you going in there. They do like to have wars, you see, reenactments. Why, you might reenact some kind of historical event where you're supposed to lose, but you bastards triumph over whoever it is that's supposed to be killing you, if you know what I mean. But you're putting your life on your line, you see, because they don't much like pansies and pussies in Westgate. If you're not willing to fight to the death, then why the fuck are you in the arena in the first place?
Hmm. The more I hear of this Westgate, the less I like about it.
So back to the mission. Where's the best place you think? And we look for clues on this missing king.
No, well, I understand that you're trying to hook up with Jural, and my understanding is that Jural tends to hang around the docks. But the man's paranoid as all get out, so you're not likely to just dock onto the streets and say, "Oh, can you tell me where this Jural figure is?" And they point you to some dark, shady warehouse where you'll find a man knee deep in conspiracies. You're really going to have to sniff around if you're going to have any success at all.
Any idea where to do that? Or you be coming to help us?
Oh, I can't do that. I've got to maintain me cover. I've got to sell this wool and this grain that I've shipped here. I've got to make it look like this is a legitimate voyage after all. Like I said, I'd tell you to look at the docks in the harbour, but when you see Westgate, you'll see that the whole fucking thing's 3/4 harbour.
But actually, there might be something I don't think I'd ever actually get to use.
Oh?
You're thieving?
No, looking up the opposite of my thieving. From Flightless's time with the... Like, as an investigator, he knows where criminals and law enforcement tend to hide out, like hang around. Like I suppose looking at the docks as we approach, could he spot out some, I guess, key locations that might have a higher chance of, having someone like that around?
Look, it's a good ability, but it's like detecting evil in Ravenloft. You'd be better off looking for the lawful people because they're the rare ones.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose just any tavern would do. Like,
that's it, right? But we'll make it a little bit more specific with that one. And so, this is a rich person's tavern. This is a poor person's tavern. This is a tavern for goblins and other unwanted people. And this one only accepts, mages or elves or whatever, because the criminal contingent here is so diverse that they cater to just about all tastes.
I suppose also need more information on the guy, because if he's a goblin, he'll probably be in the goblin seedy tavern.
Yeah, he's a harper, an old human man and a harper.
Is there a place for bards?
Yeah, there is.
We're pretty... I don't know about you, but I don't see how we're blending into this place. We got a bird, a machine, a rabbit.
Well,
Right.
Flightless takes out his
Loyalty
hat,
from-
puts it on, and now he looks like a common dock worker.
Do we break
Start.
up? In
It's a
the
hat of disguise.
Mm-mm.
What's the plan? How do we handle this?
Good question. I myself stand out quite a bit.
You could smell Lady of Comeria all over you, Eleanor.
Not to mention my hair and eyes.
Actually,
Then we got an elf.
because I've got quite an. He's got quite an intricate thing. So he'll actually cast various telepathic bond. He'll select everyone in the party if you're willing.
Fair enough.
I refuse to be a willing creature. Actually, no.
Well, then you're not
Yeah,
not to
of
the
course.
spell then. I guess the first thing he'll hear is like, it's not a voice you've heard before, because apparently, because I've looked it up a little bit, apparently Kenku can just telepathically communicate, which is interesting. So you'll just hear, hello Eleanor, as he looks at you.
I look from left to right and then back at you. Flightless?
Yeah, this one allows me to speak.
That is good, though I'll admit a little bizarre.
He does look a little giddy though, but then he'll look more. Then suddenly he'll remember what he's doing and get a bit more serious. Like, I could, in disguise, put out thieves' cant signs, like leave dead drops around the docks for looking for harpers. Like it'll be brought to his attention.
Well, something like that could work, perhaps.
Hmm.
I think it was said that he maintains his loyalty to the Harpers despite them having disbanded. And everything that the Harpers stood for.
So it's because would that be included in thieves' cant?
Yeah. Things
like scraping like
symbols
a
and sigils.
yeah, like scraping a little H or like a little harp on the side of like a crate, and then going somewhere else.
Yeah,
Just leaving subtle signs like that around, like up and down the docks.
Absolutely.
And even like small little messages like meet me at this certain tavern or something.
Where are we parked?
Yeah. Where do we park? We park somewhere here in the harbour, probably here in number 64 on the far side of the docks, so a fair way from town itself. Not only is it cheaper to park here on the far side, but it's a little more inconspicuous. It attracts a little bit less attention, but not enough, or you still attract too much attention, perhaps. No sooner have you docked there than a government official who just happens to be a black feathered bird wearing a beautiful pink hat that itself has feathers of 4 different colors pops out. He's carrying a ledger. He has a couple of heavies with him, a couple of bodyguards, whatever. And this small entourage, a small official-looking entourage, waits for you to dock. And this is your ship. I'm just here on your business. I'm not gonna deal with the fucking government. That's up to you to do.
Fair enough.
So there's a Kenku as the government official?
Looks like a Kenku. It's a raven person anyway.
Flightless
If it is a
on the side of the
Kenku.
ship.
What is what are we carrying? What are we selling? What's the trade?
We do have 10,000 gold's worth of assorted trade goods.
Right. But what is it? What are we trying to trade down here that's of value? What did he load?
You mean what's our official story?
Yeah, because he said he's got a bunch of the captain said he had a bunch of stuff to sell.
Yeah, that's right. He has wheat and wool mostly. He didn't actually say what he was going to pick up, but Westgate is like a trade hub between the south and the north. You name it, it can be found here. It wouldn't be unusual to be picking up slaves or sugarcane or everything in between.
Well, when it
So what
comes
would
to
we wanting to purchase to bring back with us?
Uh,
Going back to the city that's under war torn, what would the city need from these
Good
guys?
question. What
Food,
would a
I would
war
assume.
torn city need?
Probably
If we're
food,
trading,
building materials.
like what is there anything this place is known for that the city would need back, the people of Comeria would need at the capital?
Everything. Think of Singapore, for
Mhm.
example, or Venice during the Middle Ages. What did Venice sell? What does Singapore sell? Fucking everything. Like
Mhm.
shipping is their industry. It all comes here eventually. All boats end up in Westgate sooner or later if they're on the inner sea.
Aye.
yeah.
So we're
Yeah,
here to
yeah.
pick up stuff, and we're here to sell stuff so that we can. And we've got some precious metals we can sell so that we can load up a ship and bring it back to the capital.
There we go.
Mm.
There we
well
go.
as
That's good.
some valuable artwork and jewels.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Art.
we've got whatever was left of the adamantium and
Yeah, we still have that as well.
mithril. Then that would could bring a pretty party. So we're here as delegates. What doesn't Lady Eleanor act as the delegate from Comeria in charge of this? And
Yeah.
you're here on a humanitarian effort to see what we can do to bring back to the war torn capital. And this is a normal shipping.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'll head over and explain then.
And then Phyllis could be the accountant.
Well, I guess maybe interpreter, because when the Kenku tries to say something to her, he'll just telepathically communicate what he's trying to say.
And then we're just here as random delegates and muscle and
Yeah.
random business that we
Yeah.
chartered over.
All right, then
You
I'll
can also
explain.
just say artisan's a
It's
crafter.
interfering.
Yeah, then I'll
Well,
approach
Artisan can stay
Kenku
hidden
then.
for a while. He doesn't have to come out. Raise the alarm.
I'll approach the Kenku and I'll explain that I and my associates here are come from Cormia, and we're looking to liquidate a great deal of valuable items, including jewels, artwork, trade goods, etc., and purchase materials and food and tools and whatnot for the restoration effort to help with the Civil War.
Ah, I see. Well, docking fees were 250 pieces of gold for a ship your size.
250.
Aye.
Suppose that's fine. I look to everyone else. That is fine, yes?
So it's gonna do a history check. Like, what's the normal price? What would a
Yeah,
regular price
sure.
be?
Yeah.
I'm sure this
Oh,
rip-off.
15.
It's a huge rip-off. But there isn't really a regular price because corruption is the order of the day. So government officials can charge what they want, and usually they'll get away with it until they charge the wrong person who happens to have political connections, and then they're fucked. It's just it's a gamble for everyone, both the government and the people who dock here.
Yeah, as we're quite clearly foreigners, it's like, great, I can scam these guys.
Precisely, that's right. Cormyrians, they obey the law. They're not going to rock the boat.
And fitting the stereotype, I'm quite willing to pay the outrageous price just to get it over with.
Done. He takes the 250 gold. Ah, thank you very much. Would you like to have some of our workers watching your boat to make sure that nobody interferes with it while you're gone?
Who is to remain on the boat? The captain, I assume, has a crew.
Yeah,
Or
no doubt.
are they all headed for shore leave, I would imagine.
Yeah, some of them would be, but like he's not going to leave the ship just by itself because he knows this place, right? And
I'm saying they're asking for protection money. Say aye.
exactly what they're saying. Yeah.
It's the mob running you down for extra
So
protection.
can I try to do a thieves' cant to the bird? Basically, say that like they're well trained, it's not worth it.
No, we don't want any problems
No,
with the hobbits.
that's what he's giving him a sign, basically saying they're well trained. It's not a good target.
Oh well, if you telepathically tell me that this is basically a shakedown under nicer words, then I'll understand that it's probably for the best not to ruffle feathers as soon as we get here.
It's just cost of doing business. Pay the man.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to make.
And how
Go
much
ahead.
would this protection cost us?
Well, how long are you staying?
A good point, actually. Let's see. Maybe
A week.
Oh yeah, say a week. That's what I'll communicate. A week.
Ah, very good. 50 pieces of gold, and we'll watch it day and night.
I'm sure you will. I'll hand over 50 more gold.
Very good.
If
All right. Yeah.
I suppose
Yep,
oh,
yep,
go
yep.
ahead.
with the Steve's guarantee, we'll still sign that it's a bad target. It's too dangerous of a target, like to the Kenku.
And Thieves Can't replies that this is Westgate. And that's really all that needs to be said.
Just
Right, well,
just sort of maybe professional courtesies, like might as well give the warning.
Yeah.
Part of the
Go ahead.
telepathic bond, I want to ask if I can make one of the coins smell like dung, like a strong scent, which I can do with magical tinkering.
Suppose they can't
Yeah,
stop
sure.
it.
Basically, make like a stink bomb.
Yeah, well, it's I can tap it with my hammer, which if we're pulling the gold out of my bag of holding, then I could just do that along the way. And I can
we don't wanna
make it
show-
exude in. Okay.
We don't want to be showing him that you got a bag of holding with this never-ending supply of gold. Like we'd be going back to you, where they would come back to the ship to get the money, and
Okay.
So that is like you'll go
we're not
on.
going to lay down all of our cards in front of them and be like, "All right, hey guys, we got this Warforged here who you can mob him and take his, never-ending supply of money."
Right. Well,
So I mean,
say
that's. But I think we should just pay the man and get off the boat and start looking.
Yeah.
See if he's got any
have to.
information for you on the person we're looking for.
Yeah.
Make up a story for the business.
Yeah.
Do you want
Speaking
to
of,
split up, Moog?
Go ahead.
I was just saying you wanted to split up, Moog, right?
Well, I mean, since they're talking to the Kenku, I don't know if he can give us some information on the dude that we're looking for. I'm thinking I'm still on the boat. I'm just telepathically listening and telling you guys.
I'll ask.
And I suppose what sort of check would it be to to try to, I guess, subtly ask if this guy's a harper without directly asking? Like, would that be Thieves' Cant as well?
Yeah, Thieves' Cant. That's right. I'm looking for someone who plays the harp, something like that. But Thieves' Cant is the ticket here.
Like, I'm looking for like a 3-fingered harp or something like that, like a harp with 3 strings.
Oh, I see. Well, you'd be in luck because we've got some good choirs. Why don't you head down to the Mermaid's Bosom? I hear that they've got quite the orchestra down there.
He'll nod like many thanks as he'll pass him over 15 gold.
So now is that?
Excuse me?
Say again.
you're breaking up very
It's
badly.
Up now. Okay, I'm not sure why it's breaking up.
It's all good.
Oh, good now.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is gonna work or not. There might be some interference now.
No, we heard that perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He might not be able to hear us though.
Arctic speak.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
hello.
can.
Ah.
I can't hear much of what you're saying though, unfortunately. Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Because I
Alright.
rejoined.
So,
Hmm.
those carry. Right.
Yeah, I
Okay, cool.
rejoined.
All right. So yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. Okay, cool. I lost my train of thought.
I think you were going to ask, like, have we paid him the fees
Paid
yet or something like that?
350, right? I think he's done 50 in total.
Hmm.
He said 50 gold coins for protection and 250 to dock, so that's,
That's
300
gold,
total.
and then Flightless gave him 15 for the information about the Harpers.
Oh, 15, right? Yeah.
315 then.
That's a huge amount of money, and he's satisfied. He's happy with it. It's a big payday for this particular corrupt government official, and he directs you towards the mermaid's bosom.
All right.
All
Such a
right.
great game.
Speaking of the robot who has all of the stuff on him, what is it, like 4 bags of holding? Or is it 3? 3 bags of holding, because I have 2 infusions and then we bought 1. I want to cast Arcane Lock on the openings of the bags. You can cast it on a chest, so I imagine you can cast it on the bag.
Yeah, I think
so
so.
Arcane. I want to Arcane Lock all 3 of the bags. I'll telepathically communicate the password to the whole party. But just so no one can pickpocket it, basically.
Well, I think that's a good point. We should talk about party dynamics right now of who's going to the mermaid's bosom
I think
in that.
I
and
think
how much gold
because Flightless can actually speak, so he'll say, "We go to a nicer tavern nearby because we're obviously rich, like travelers, and then in disguise, me and other people, will go out to the mermaid's bosom and lay out like signals that we want to meet because this guy is because we were told he was cautious. If we just all go in with our weapons, he might disappear, and then we'll never find him."
Fair enough.
Mm.
How far, I'll ask, can you communicate to us with this spell?
He lays his maps like where is it? Yeah, he lays out his map of Daggerdale, the Anarok, and he actually pulls out the map of Faerun and it just points from one corner to the other.
Okay, fair enough.
So why don't you just recon the mermaid's bosom and take a look at it, and we'll stay here. How far away is the mermaid's bosom from here? If you can talk to us, then we can find our way. If it's time to come. So why don't you just take? Why don't the most minimum of us go to the bosom and have not raised the least
And
alarm?
according to the map, it's like 60 feet away.
Yeah,
I don't know
so it's pretty close. It's on the far side of the river, on the far side. Yeah, a few hundred feet. Not even a few thousand feet, just a few hundred feet away.
Could you take one of the dinghies from the boat over there?
Yeah, absolutely.
But that
Why
might
don't you take-
that might actually be suspicious. You know, just a random dockhand getting like a personal ferry across the harbor. So it'll just take longer. He'll
If it's so busy, no one will care, right? I mean, you could just walk the difference.
yeah, no, he'll just walk. Like
Doesn't
it's
matter.
less suspicious.
But so we can. Why don't we just stand by on the boats then, and you can go over there, and then we can get a fast way to. If you need to be, we can.
Oh,
take-
like you guys get on the boat, and then Flightless will row everyone over, and then you go into the rich tavern, and then he'll go into the mermaid's bosom.
How do you know there's a rich tavern next to it?
It's a harbor. There's probably loads of taverns.
Sure, but what's
okay? Suppose let's just is there like a good target where they could feasibly go into and look like rich patrons?
What's the difference between us staying on the boat and then
I suppose.
going into a rich tavern?
I suppose if a bunch of Zentarum members attack him, he'd rather you be in the tavern nearby than across the harbour.
Well, we don't necessarily need to be in a tavern. We can just simply be on a neighboring
Yeah,
street.
just doing
or
something like being unsuspicious.
Just
Why
kind of
don't we get
stand
a ferry
around.
to bring us across so that like triples the walk, and then we can start wandering about since we're all telepathically linked. and be close. But let's go off in separate directions. Let the main party go on the boat, and then Flightless, you can go with someone else, and surreptitiously just walk in by yourself or with one person.
Oh, very well. I'm fine with it.
Is the crow still there?
No, he's putting his money. He's looking for someone else to shake down, but you can okay if you want to.
Sorry.
Who makes most sense to escort Flightless, or should he go by himself?
And for Finnick, I think Arctic was saying he's basically shaking down someone else, but you can interrupt him if you want. Is what I think he said.
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet. I just want to ask him where the second best tavern is. Actually, no, where the
sure.
best tavern is.
Oh, absolutely. He sends you to the Gilded Dragon, which is an expensive place that might too good for the likes of them, too good for them, but not too good for the likes of you.
All I heard was the
Sounds
likes of you.
Yeah, it sounds like Artisan is having a breakdown.
No, Arctic speaking abyssal.
Yeah.
I got the gist of it though, which is
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
the gist. Won't let me in because I'm a rabbit folk or something. I think
where
it's
is
the
this?
second best one that allows unhuman ones.
Where is this dragon tavern?
I was just looking in the key, like.
I'm looking, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't think it's listed. Yeah, it's not listed.
I think I might be back. I might be back.
Welcome
maybe.
back.
I don't know. Yeah, it's flashing red, yellow, red, yellow. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the Gilded Dragon is an expensive place. The crow says that it's good for you to finish. Too good for them. Points to the rest of the party.
It's not good
Oh, I
for
get
us, or
it.
it is good for us.
I get it. I think he's pointing to Finnick that it's good for him because I think Finnick's dressed in finery and whatnot, and the rest of us aren't
Yes.
so well dressed.
So I want to just quickly say, message me when you're done with your interrogations, cast Pass Without Trace, and vanish into the streets.
Ha! And Finnick is born.
Okay.
Flightless looks him in the eyes as he disappears. So just waves as he watches him leave.
And then I head towards the
Probably.
dragon place.
No worries. You blow 50 gold pieces, Finnick, but your every desire is serviced, no matter how debauched or gentle.
I think Finna just gets them to like peel grapes and just stuff like that.
Yeah, it's more just more pillows, more sleeping.
Yeah.
Good.
Like every time they
Pull
bring him
grapes.
a pillow, he's just like another.
Peel grapes for nobility.
Now toss them out the window and peel another.
Yeah, I think I'll go to the same place Flightless is going, but I'll take my own route there and then sort of loiter on a nearby street, close enough that if he gets into trouble, I'm within sprinting distance. I could get there within less than 10 rounds.
Is there a
Mo goes as the
Wait.
lady's escort to look like them also.
Flightless will, walk because he's taking the long walk around. So he'll just walk into a tavern, spend a few walk into a small variety of the pubs on the way there. But every time before he leaves, he'll change his disguise.
Being very thorough.
Yeah.
So by the time he gets
Is-
to the maiden's bosom, he's he's been 7 different sailors.
Everyone who wishes to can roll D33, please.
Is that each?
I'll
hit?
do it.
Anyone who wants to, yeah. You don't have to roll it. But
I'll
you
roll.
can.
14.
Mm-hmm.
17.
Oh,
Flightless runs into the only person who has true sight.
Okay, cool. So Eleanor, while you're by yourself, are you?
I think Moog's with me.
Yeah.
Did you say that, Moog? Yeah.
Yeah, looking as like a
Cool. So you and Mo are traveling. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. With the noble and the bodyguard. Are you in a boat or are you walking around the harbour?
I guess walking, but just taking a different route to Flightless.
All right. You will spot in one of the side streets, maybe somewhere around about here or thereabouts. So I didn't come up on the map. Somewhere about here, near the Westlight Walk. You will spot someone with a big rolled up carpet. The carpet has something inside it that might weigh 100, 200 pounds. It's hard to tell. But someone has rolled up a carpet with a cylindrical object inside. They look both ways and then they dump it in the harbour.
I know what that is.
That's not a body. Don't worry about it.
Hmm.
Angelic Wings flies over and smites them.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about it. But I don't know for sure that it's a body, but it's probably a body. Let's
Oh,
see.
no, it can't be.
See just how filthy is this harbor?
It washes out to sea pretty quickly, so it's got a lot of junk in it, but that junk soon vanishes, and then tomorrow's junk washes in. Yeah.
It's fresh
So it's not that
garbage.
filthy, really. Fresh garbage, yeah, exactly.
Don't swim. Got it.
All right. Well, I feel obligated to intervene here. But let's see. If I go for the person dumping it, the body might not be recoverable by the time I've finished questioning them. So I guess I'll wait for the dumper, so to speak, to leave, and then once he's gone, I'll jump into the harbor and retrieve the rolled up carpet.
Sure. Do you have some way of doing so, or are you just going to dive down and lunk it out?
Mm,
I guess before there issues, I guess you take your armor off first, so you don't just drown in the harbour.
question whether I can swim with it on or not.
You'll be at disadvantage. Yeah.
And smell like shite.
Is there anything by the like a net or a rope or anything?
Yeah, absolutely. You'd have to steal it, or I suppose you could buy it. You could go on a quick transaction. But
You
yeah, there
find-
are certainly nets nearby. Yeah.
Okay, so buy a net and try to fish it out of the harbor then.
All right. They try to negotiate a steeper price. Like they want 4 times the player's handbook price for your net.
I have no idea what that might be, but it can't be that much. See,
Yep. So you just pay it.
I think so. I doubt it'd be
That's
more
4
Alright.
GP.
4 gold. I think we can manage that.
They think you are a sucker. You spent 4 gold, you sucker, and you toss your net in and start fishing around for this body. Maybe make a survival check or something to see how successful you are.
Survival not my strong suit, but I will try.
That's the fishing check, and
Oh.
you
94.
fail. The body must have been weighed down with something. Body? Maybe it's totally not a body. Whatever is in the carpet must have been weighed down, and it's sunk really quickly. And by the time you've bought your net and thrown it in, and you suck at cast netting,
Yeah,
and
screw
people are
this
laughing
then.
at you.
Screw this then. I'm just
Doesn't
going
even
to
get
dive
into
in.
the water.
Yeah, I'm just gonna dive in. Screw it.
All right, so you're gonna dive in, but
tie a
yep, yep,
rope
yep.
to you first.
Uh-huh.
Let's be tying a rope to you before you go swimming. Don't be expecting me to go after you. Other than this,
Lion
Well,
gets caught and starts being dragged away.
well, I can fly, so if needs be, I can fly up out of the water. I think you can do
Aye.
that, right?
you can always tie the rope, tug twice, yank twice hard, and I'll start pulling.
Very well.
All right. 50 foot of rope. Right.
Aye.
Not enough. So you jump in. You've got a rope around you. You jump in into the water, and the body, the carpet, has already sunk. Further than 50 feet. It's weighed down, and it's going straight down.
So I'll tie mine as well to make it 100 feet.
All right. Harbour. How deep is harbours? 100 foot, 30 meters. Probably deeper than that. Yeah.
God damn it. All right.
Um.
Looking it up. Average
How long do you hold
harbor.
your breath for? Do you know?
I think it's
think
1
it's-
minute times constitutional strength. I think
Yeah.
I think it's con,
Uh,
so it'd be 3 minutes for me.
Hmm.
If it's a regular port with recreational types, it's no more than 20 feet, whereas a water deep
Oh
port
no, it's
with large heavy
it's not
loaded is
deep.
30 feet or
It's
deeper.
not as deep as water deep. Oh, it's much deeper than that. Like, yeah, water deep's harbour is really deep, but it's not as deep as that, but it's still very deep. Hence the fact that it makes a great
think-
harbour. It's probably about 200 feet.
I think Pyro just googled it and he was referring to deep water ports.
Yeah, deep water ports are typically 30 feet or more for large, heavy
Right.
loaded ships.
I guess it doesn't have to be that deep, does it? Like no ship's going to displace more than 10 meters. Yeah. Yeah.
The port with the largest is 18.5 meters in our world.
Right. Isn't it any deeper than that? All right, then 100 feet would probably do it then. That's less than 18.5 meters anyway. Okay, cool. So let's make this easy then. You dive down there, and now, while the harbour itself doesn't appear to be that dirty, when you get to the bottom, it is. It's fucking filthy. There's all sorts of things down here. Wagons and skeletons and giant crabs and rust. It's old buildings. It's like probably countless creatures down here as well, locathars and meros and excuse me, other aquatic humanoids that the goblins of the sea, if you will.
Oh, jeez.
I'll
Roll
search for
initiative.
search for this carpet.
All
You
right.
find the
So you
Kraken.
find your carpet. Yeah, you find a kraken. You find the carpet. You unroll it, and there is a naked man within it. He's pretty old, 50 or thereabouts, and it looks like he died by strangulation.
Hmm. Well, I'll pick him up and swim him back to the top.
All right, you have a corpse, a naked corpse. You pull this naked corpse up out of the water, and you attract a fair bit of attention as people look over at a beautiful armored woman emerging from the waves carrying a dead guy. Like
Yeah.
on one hand, it attracts a lot of attention. On the other hand, it's also just another day in Westgate.
Yeah, I imagine all sorts of bizarre things happen here.
Yeah, exactly.
The bizarre
Oh,
thing
wow.
probably isn't the corpse by the lake. It's probably the bizarre thing is that why is she taking it back out?
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
I'll heft the corpse up onto my shoulder, and I'll ask Moog to tell me, looking at the map, where the nearest temple to a good deity is, like Lathander.
All right. You're able to locate one. I think it's called the White Temple or something. Anyway, you head off in that direction.
Alright, I would carry the naked body towards the temple with the intention of making sure he gets buried properly, and if they even bother with that sort of thing in Westgate, his death investigated.
Sure. So you find a temple of Mistra called the School of White Wizardry. Even though it's a school for wizards, it's a temple as well, a temple to Mistra, goddess of magic. It looks destitute. They have broken windows. Their paint is peeling. There's very few parishioners and even lights. Indeed, the priests are begging. They're trying to raise money for the restitution of their building. And then you turn up. Pennies for the please, ma'am. Could you spare a few gold pieces to prevent the School of White Wizardry from closing down?
Absolutely. Would you be capable of performing funeral rites for this unfortunate fellow here?
Oh yes, of course. Yes, of course. How did he die?
It would seem that he was strangled to death, although I cannot be sure. I witnessed his body be dumped in the harbor.
Oh, a murder! How terrible! He looks you up and down. Are you wearing jewels and stuff?
Pretty fine plate, although it's probably a little brown now after being in the harbor.
Ma'am, we would be perfectly happy to offer the funeral rites for free if you are able to help us with a donation that will keep this keep us operating, so that we might teach white wizardry to children and to people who could benefit the world, to go on to do great things, great heroic actions in the future.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to.
Oh, wonderful! It will only cost a meager 1,000 gold pieces to keep us afloat.
Let's see. I don't have 1,000 gold in coin on me at the moment. Well, if you will see to this fellow, I'll give you this for now. I'll hand out 10 platinum pieces, and I promise that I will return with more.
My lady, Mistra blesses you. May the weave ever be in your favor, my lady.
Thank you kindly.
Of course,
Yeah,
it's
here.
past. The
I
only
guess
thing you
you're.
hear is Moog being like, "You bloody smell like a fish. He's dead already. What do you have to go in the water for?" To
It's
you guys, probably there is chatter.
It's important that the departed receive their last rites.
You never know why he's strangled in the first place.
Regardless of why he was killed, everyone deserves that.
Moog's not protesting other than bitching.
Just bitching.
It just so I guess if Sildarin could talk to him, then that would
Yes.
be. My only point is that you probably heard Moog's mental bitching. So
Yeah.
Well, not used to like telepathic communication, so he's just broadcasting.
Yeah, can Sildarin speak with that?
all the angry thoughts of a dwarf watching.
Yes, not right now because I don't have it prepared, but I guess tomorrow I could.
It is
Fair
a very
enough.
niche spell.
I imagine it would take a little while to prepare the body to be properly buried. So
Don't want to be mean to the white wizard people, but I don't think they have the material components to cast Gentle Repose.
no, probably not. Well, even if we don't get to the bottom of this particular murder, I guess we can be satisfied knowing that he was laid to rest properly. And this being Westgate, I don't suppose we have time to investigate every murder we come across, or we'll be here for years.
You bloody said it, not me. Now what are we gonna do about you? You smell like a fish. You smell worse than the harbor itself.
I'm gonna be
You
away for
clean
a
your
second.
arm.
For a diamond worth half the donation that guy wants, I could just bring him back to life.
Yeah.
It's
So
funny
darn,
how
get over here.
it's funny how D&D works.
Economics.
Well, if Sildarin wants to revive him, like resurrect him properly, then by all means.
I don't know how that prepared either, but we could do it tomorrow. If you have a 500 gold piece diamond
I thought it was
that you want to spend on
5,000
this.
for that one.
What spell is it in particular you're talking about? Is it Resurrection?
No, Raise Dead, I can't. Resurrection, I think, is a 7th level spell. A couple
Yeah.
levels away from that yet.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is 500. Wait, so Revivify is 300 gold, and that's 1 minute, and Raise Dead is 500 gold, and it's 10 days. Okay,
Wow.
I was just wrong on that one. Never mind. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I guess looking over the corpse, is it has it like been disemboweled, or is it missing its head, or anything like that?
No. He's been beaten. He's got a broken nose and broken fingers and stuff like that. It looks like he's been tortured, basically. But there's no signs of rot. It doesn't smell particularly bad. He's probably like killed today or last night or recently anyway. Yeah, no signs of decomposition yet. No signs of bloating.
All right. Well, I'll leave the body in the care of the Temple of Timora with my 10 plat donation, and I'll ask them to keep the body on hand if they would be so kind. For a
They will
day.
do as they'll do as you say, and indeed, they want to make you a saint or something, like benefactor. Put a little plaque, Lady Eleanor plaque on the.
Saint to the stinky fish. That's what she's a saint.
Yeah.
Like, fine, Moog. Like, we'll make our next order of business getting me a bath if it bothers you that much. Though, truth be told, the harbor water is rather foul.
Are we going to be raising the dead of the entire town? Because I feel like this is going to happen a lot while we're here.
I think the difference is, like, we directly saw that happen. I think there's a difference between going out and fixing everyone who's dying in the world and fixing the person who's dying at your doorstep.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of things that are happening right in front of us, flightless. You're going past a bunch of abandoned warehouses. Some not abandoned, some operational. Just a moment. That's a bit better. I'm not sure it is. Maybe I'm lagging. So if you can hear me, you're going past an abandoned warehouse when you see a man with an unshaven man with colourful but dirty clothes, like a sort of like a clown, but without makeup. And this unshaven man with his colourful but dirty, gaudy clothing is carrying a variety of sweets, hard boiled lollies, and sugar plums, salty plums, and stuff like that. And he is handing them out to children. Uh, uh, Here, little boy. Here, little girl. Oh yes, we have much more just inside the warehouse here. Please, won't you come in? Oh yes, lots of toys in there, lots of games to play.
Nothing strange happening.
Jesus Christ. Just. Westgate's just like, we do a little bit of human trafficking.
And I suppose I don't even need to do insight to know that's what he's trying to do. Just go inside, like, Pizza Planet.
Yeah.
No, well, disguised as a sailor, like, he'll probably just... Because he probably wants to know what's happening here, so he'll just pretend he's working nearby, and once he understands that he wants, he's just trying to get random children he doesn't know into the warehouse, I suppose he'll go somewhere discreet and re-put on his disguise to look more like one of the guards he's probably seen around the city, and try to shoo the guy off.
Sir, maybe there's been a misunderstanding. Would you like to step inside and we can talk about it, perhaps?
And actually, with disguise self, could I make the rapier appear like a cane, like a blackjack, just like a walking stick?
Sure.
Yeah, so he'll not he's fully expecting a ambush, but like, how can you sneak up behind someone who can see out the back of his head? But this guy isn't expecting that, so yeah, he'll follow the guy in.
Ah, thank you very much. I'm sorry, children. You'll have to leave now. I've got to talk to the important man. And they've got their salty plums, so they're
And he'll repeat like, one of the stock. Don't talk to strangers.
All right. So you go inside. It's dark in here, really dark. The abandoned warehouse is not empty. It's got a lot of junk in here, old boxes, broken furniture, saw blades and sawdust, and oars from boats and ropes and barnacles, and a whole bunch of things that are basically useless, but whose total value is probably no more than a few hundred gold. Um, anyway, with your exceptional passive perception, you will see that you're not alone in here, as you are anticipating. As the fellow leads you in and closes the gate behind you and padlocks it, locking you in, you will see that there is an individual in the rafters. They stalk along the rafters as quiet and as stealthy as a cat, as they look like they are positioning themselves into a place where they will be directly above you.
And I guess seemingly, like, coincidentally, every time he positions to be above his head, Phyllis will just, sort of wander somewhere else, so that, to keep him on the other side of the warehouse as he inspects the room.
All right, sure.
And he'll.
And
I suppose he'll also keep.
You're only able to.
Sorry.
Yep. Yeah.
So he'll be like start questions like, "What are you? Why are you doing that?"
Well, it's just a. Well, you see, it's a bit like this. We represent a certain organization, and at that, the figure up in the roof bounds towards you. Now, you've positioned yourself so that they're a little bit far away, and you know that they're coming. So when you roll for initiative and this red-eyed, fanged individual leaps down upon you, it'll take them around to reach you.
Oh no, you get
That
to be a
fucking
vampire.
vampire.
I'll be more sorry when I kill you than I was on.
Haha.
Well, the perils of splitting the party, such as it is.
Indeed.
Yeah, I recognise that token. He's in time.
Maybe. And so this individual is trying to tie you up, or not metaphorically, just keep you engaged, while the predator up in the roof. I didn't think of that word before I used it, but predator is about the most appropriate word I could use. Um, uh, Bounds down and tries to dash over towards you and attack from above. So, but you got the drop on both of them, or rather, they don't get the drop on you. More specifically, more correctly, what do you do?
I suppose to begin with, he'll use his action to equip a shield from his back, because I assume he probably would, because he wanted to look sort of defenseless, holding just this, sort of walking stick. So, and then he'll just sort of flip the stick around because it is just a rapier, and then that's action, shield. And since it's locked, he'll just back off, and so he's got his back to the wall, so they can't they can't just team up on him and attack him from behind.
All right. The vampire bounds through the roof's rafters, and gets into a position where it will be able to jump down upon you next round. And the fellow who led you in here spins around and tries to pin you against the wall, trying to grapple you and make sure that you don't go anywhere. But he's not very strong. He's not very quick, and you dodge out of his way relatively quickly. And it's your go again.
He will use his. Excuse me. What was that, Lloyd?
I was just going to say, not that we would get there in time to make any difference in this combat, but I imagine you're probably saying something telepathically.
Yeah, just like It's like I'm in a warehouse and being attacked by what appears to be thugs.
I'll start making my way over there, but as I mentioned, we're not going to get there
Yeah.
to make any kind
So-
of difference.
Usually, I think a rogue would be fairly helpless in this situation, but I think this is a situation where, like, being inquisitive is actually to my advantage.
Hmm.
Because I will use his insightful fighting to try to get into the mind of this thug attacking him, and that would be a deception check on behalf of the guy.
Yeah.
Can you even beat 30?
No.
I imagine
not.
not.
So anticipating the guy's movements, Flightless moves in with what appears to be just a walking stick, and then he stabs at the guy's like chest and maybe even throat.
Yeah, you got this. You can solo this.
I will
with
use his
my mate.
inspiration.
Oh, I shouldn't have opened my mouth.
27.
Yeah, and your blade goes straight through him.
Brutal sneak attack.
It's 27 damage.
And he coughs up blood, and as he falls back from your blade, he tries to to plead for mercy or to back off. On his action, he is going to take the disengage action. But for the moment, he's just stumbling around, bleeding heavily from a wound that will probably kill him within a matter of hours.
And I guess, and almost like seeing as he's backing away, Flightless will turn his attention more to the vampire above. Well, I mean, the random creature above.
And the random creature above launches itself down, and with gravity on its side, it has advantage. Uh, 16 won't do it, though, will it?
It will not do it.
So he tries to grapple you with a 25.
That will hit.
Okay, so he hits you, and it's an automatic grapple. Instead of dealing damage, they can grapple. But the DC to escape is pretty easy. The thug disengages and backs off, and starts fumbling with the lock. But the vampire hisses at him that if he values his life, do not open that door. Flightless.
I guess Flightless turning his powers of deduction onto the vampire herself. He will use his deduction to try to guess what she will be doing. Oh, she might actually be.
Can't beat it. The vampire is going to drink your blood.
I mean, and well, he'll stab her first. 17.
Yeah, that'll do it. They're not quick enough to dodge that.
19 damage. And it is a magical rapier, if that makes a difference.
It might, but no sooner have you stabbed this gentleman when he begins to regenerate. Realizing that this that you're more perhaps difficult than he anticipated, he scratches wildly with his claws, waiting for the roll.
Wait, the previous clause? Oh yeah, he grappled me instead of doing damage.
Yeah.
No, I understand now.
I couldn't hear most of that.
Oh no, it was nothing.
Or any of it.
I made a misunderstanding. Now I understand.
I must be lagging. It's not even letting me roll the dice.
Oh, like a print, it'll all come through eventually.
There we go. So the first two rolls, the 7 and the 23,
23 does not hit.
scratches at you. Again, it's going to take a while for the roll to come up. I mean, 6 points of damage.
And I'm saying
You
23 does not hit.
I think you might be breaking up too bad to hear it.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that's right. Oh, okay.
And I guess for the
All right.
saying
Well, seeing that it's not going to be able to defeat you because it's even its best strikes are not good enough for you. It provokes an attack of opportunity as it tries to run back up the walls and onto the roof. It's like a cat that darts in, has boxes your ears, and then darts away again. That's what it's trying to do.
I think actually in a rare moment, like because this guy's not a threat, he'll actually take this attack of opportunity.
Sure.
14.
Won't hit it. It's your go, but you're watching as the vampire regenerates every wound that you make. This is a bit of a stalemate where you can hit him and hurt him, but he's just going to get all the hit point back, and he can attempt to strike at you, but even an accurate strike, he rolled a 17, is not enough. So it's a stalemate.
And I guess on the flightless side, like he thought he could hold him here until help arrives, but at least he still got the other person.
Yeah, lagging too much to hear.
That is
he was planning on holding it here until the others arrive. Can you hear that?
I think
no. Go ahead and type out what you were going to intend then. 5K ping, holy fuck.
Alright. Yeah. So yeah, he can't hurt you, you can't hurt him. It's a stalemate. What do you do, Flightless? Oh, right. Well, he runs up to the walls and crouches among the roof.
I guess you have a couple of minutes until we get there. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, I can just get my bow out and just keep shooting at him.
All right.
So just shield away.
Okay. Cool. Okay. A choice to attack you. So you can attack first. Then there's no way to run, so they have to fight.
We can't understand you.
Unfortunately, I got none of that.
Yeah.
You can try typing it out.
Because I think basically the gist of it was when I put my shield on my back, the vampire jumps down and attacks me again.
I think so, yeah.
Well, basically, yeah, if you have a problem with barriers, they have to run, they have to hide, and so they have no choice but to fight. And thus we'll get through 3 rounds of this.
Do you not have 2 attacks, Flightless?
He's a rogue.
Yeah, he's a rogue.
And rogue damage doesn't scale very well.
Yeah, I think rogues do one attack that does a lot of damage rather than lots of little attacks.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Yeah, you can fire your bow.
I think you said I can fire my bow off, so.
Go ahead.
Ooh, spicy.
A good one.
You're taking name action.
And then he will move to the furthest possible corner of the room as well.
How do you get sneak attack?
Excuse me?
How did you get sneak attack?
I have insightful fighting.
Oh, right.
It's basically... that's what the contest was for. So for the next minute, I can do sneak attack against the vampire.
Okay.
And then I'll use... Then I will what is it? Bonus action dash and use my movement to just move 60 feet to the other side of the thing, so she can't get to me. He can't get to me in one turn.
All right, then we'll hide.
Little does he know he cannot hide from the flightless.
Can't really, but it can interpose between you and like it can go behind full cover basically,
Yeah.
making it even impossible to see.
But I can just. I suppose it depends where it is. Is it in a spot where like I can just keep it there until help arrives?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, pin it down.
And
Yeah.
because from the vampire, he can probably think he can chill there until I get bored or tired, because
Yeah.
no one knows I'm in here. But unfortunately, a lot of people do know I am in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're all heading to you, except maybe the rabbit who's eating peeled grapes.
So I guess he'll just
Alright.
use his turns to do bonus action perception checks to make sure the vampire doesn't come into sight. And if it does, he'll think with an hour to send it back into hiding.
Yep, no worries. So you pin it down, and in the meantime, the man who was luring the children in here, the gaudy, dirty clown, fumbles with the lock, throws it open, and runs out into the street.
And I guess Flightless will, spend one turn to thaumaturgy the door shut again.
Sure.
Actually, it's daylight outside. The vampire couldn't run outside even if it wanted to.
It cannot. That's right. It's got no choice. It's trapped in here. And so about 5 minutes later, the party does turn up, and there's nothing the vampire can do at this point.
Yeah, he just goes, there was a vampire in the rafters. It tried to kill children. It was trying to lure in children.
Yeah, I don't know if it's even worth playing out the combat because it's so outmatched.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not. I need to feed, he says. I am a citizen as much as you are.
I guess
I did not want to
One
kill
that
them.
attacks children.
I was merely going to feed upon them.
Come on down here, we'll feed you something.
And I guess he'll ask, Eleanor, can you ask why he didn't pay people for blood if that is what he wanted?
I suppose so. I'll ask.
I say this is a city with different laws and customs. That will probably be permissible.
Yeah, I'll ask. And say what you said.
The vampire just tries to justify their actions through simple survival. After all, they're only street kids. They don't matter anyway.
Yeah. Angry.
Like Flightless, like his background is like of slaves. Like he immediately doesn't like the vampire. He just Eleanor, like I wouldn't mind if you did, that thing to him.
Don't blame
No.
me. Blame their parents. Their parents shouldn't let them wander the streets.
Yeah, I'll let my spectral wings emerge from my back and fly up to the rafters. And grip my halberd in hand. The crime is your foul existence, and the punishment is death. Proceed to execute him.
Moments later, he is naught but ash in the wind.
And fly back down. Well, unfortunately, if what we have heard is true, then that vampire was just one rat in this cesspool.
It's like
But at
he's
least
probably
it's one less.
he's the reason people kill vampires on sight.
Yes, vampires like him, but just being undead is wrong. It's foul. It's a crime against the world, whether you will it or no. And the world is much better off without creatures such as them.
Are you here to be the police? Oh, this godforsaken city? Or are we on a mission?
Like Flightless looks down as he's in his guard out like disguise, and he appreciates the irony of what Moog just said.
No, Moog, but as our companion was in distress.
Not the police, just the conscience.
He's just like,
yes.
Like I may not be a paladin, but it was children.
I understand we have not the time to seek out every minor injustice within the entire city, but should something happen before our very eyes, I don't see how we cannot stop to intervene.
So close your bloody eyes. And let's go be finding this drunken mermaid bar. Get out of this godforsaken place.
And plus, no one saw me come in here. Like passage is still hidden. Maybe not yours though, as he gestures to the party. And maybe like artisan who like literally came at the speed of sound.
Well then, let us be off.
Yeah, and Flightless will spend a few more minutes, then everyone else looking around before he departs as well in a different disguise, continuing his path on. Actually, looking around, are there other children who got trapped in here? Like,
the children have gotten their lollies, and it's been 5 or 10 minutes. So 5 minutes, they're off doing other things by now.
Because I'm thinking maybe like there was another like group, like from a different day or something.
There are street kids all over the place. You find no shortage of kids wandering the streets.
I guess I'll be a bit more, like there's no like pile of dead children like in a crate or something from like previous days.
No corpses. No, like
okay, that's good.
If just dump them in the river in the harbour if there were.
Nothing to be done about that one. So then he'll be back on his way. Same strategy,
sure.
Moving into taverns, changing disguises and things.
All right.
Artisan will continue what he was before. Looking for dens of crafters or places to buy materials.
Absolutely. Are you there, Jake?
I'll try and find a tavern to wash my stuff.
Sure.
Yes.
Finnick, are you available? Yep. Okay, cool. So while you're on your way to this nice part of town, could I shine your shoes? Asks what you first think might be a child, but actually turns out to be a halfling. Can I shine your shoes or your belt buckle? I work for pennies, ma'am, sir, ma'am.
I had the pass without traces cast, and I was just the shadows and just avoiding everybody on my way up there.
Oh, easy. No worries then. No worries. I was going to have a low-level thief pick your pocket, but
I thought that would happen, so I thought I'd just cast pass without trace, stick to the shadow, and basically not be detected.
But very good. Then what you do see, Finnick, as you're making your way, is an enormous giant, some 20, 25 feet tall, right? And he's talking to children, and they're having a great time. Cyclone, yay! And it appears that this enormous, muscular, blue-skinned, green-bearded giant is saying, "Now remember, children, stay away from drugs. Drugs are not cool. You winners don't take drugs. Winners stand up for themselves and do what their parents tell them to and go to bed on time. If you want to be a winner like me, then stay away from bad people. Okay, Cyclone, yeah! Don't join gangs. Don't take drugs. Stay at home and stay in school. That's because school is cool. Yay!
I guess I'll wander over that direction now.
And also, talking about bad people, what did we do anything with the guy? Just oh no, he escaped.
Yeah, he got away.
Yeah.
So you wander over to Cyclone, who has his like little media entourage. He's not alone. There's ironically this storm giant has bodyguards, or PR units anyway. And one of them comes up to you, hey, Rabbit, what do you want? Get out of here. Skedaddle.
I assume I'd still be like pretty stealth, just watching them.
Oh, you're just watching them. I thought that you were going up and interacting. Yeah,
I'm just gonna
absolutely.
watch to begin with, and then see if he's like
so
being weird.
Make an insight check.
So it sounds like he pays with stuff with exposure.
It's like, it's certainly hollow and certainly shallow, but his heart does seem to be in the right place. Like, the guy seems to believe his own messages, but at the same time, this is just a publicity stunt as well. It turns out that this fellow is a star. He's a star of the arena, of Cyclone, champion of the arena. And it's like Hulk Hogan going out there and meeting the kids and shaking their hands and so on. That's what we've got here. It's a bit of a public appearance from a celebrity that children look up to, and he's giving them all sorts of good messages, and but ultimately it's evangelism that probably isn't going to have much impact on people's lives.
I think it's time to be mischievous and annoying. I just want to like walk up behind them, pretending to be like a child, and then put down my hood.
Hey, what do you want? Here, have some lollies. Be good and stay in school.
No thanks. I'm much too old for school, and I dropped out of school because school is not where you get smart. On the streets is where you get smart.
The Cyclone takes this as a personal affront, noticing you at last. That's not the right message to be sharing with children, he says, because school is cool.
But school's not where you learn to make money. School's not where you learn magic.
It can be. You can get a job through school. Did you learn to fight in the arenas at school, Cyclone? Well, no. I made my money in the arena. Can you learn magic at school? Well, some schools, private schools, I suppose. Wizard schools. I don't think I can afford an expensive school. Well, stay away from gangs and stay away from drugs, and your life will be better for it. My brother's rich because he sells drugs.
Yes, you see? Remember, live by the way of the Fae. If an opportunity approaches you, just think, random choice, and you're good.
Well, kids, you wouldn't take advice from a rabbit, would you? Yeah, rabbits are cool.
I travelled all the way from the Fae. I've killed dragons. I do what I want.
Have you killed dragons, Cyclones? No. I've wrestled dinosaurs, but dragons are stronger than dinosaurs. Well, look, who are you? He turns to you and says, you're sending the wrong message to these disadvantaged children. You want them to get a bad start in life?
No, just merely stating that you are sending the wrong message. The schools here are probably shocking. They won't learn anything here.
Well, look, I've had enough of you, say some of the handlers. Why don't you get out of it? No. The rabbit is right. The schools here are shocking. These poor children aren't going to have any future outside of the dark alleys. Sometimes he admits to you. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my time. So what would you have them do then? You seem to be so smart in the ways of the world.
Seeing as you're so interested in educating them, and you're such a famous person apparently, why don't you open up your own school? Instead of going around giving out words of pointless wisdom to like children that are dying.
Cyclone School for the Disadvantaged. Hey, don't listen to him, Cyclone. You got a great career in the arena already. You don't need to give all of that away for a couple of losers. Losers? These children are winners, and they will be winners with the right education and the right role model. You're right. I should be doing something other than just throwing my weight around. I should be making a better example. Fighting isn't the way forward. Education is, community and family values. You're right. Who are you, a stranger from the Feyland?
Nobody, just your conscience, and with that I'll go invisible and just walk away.
Wait. Did that really happen? No, you imagined the whole thing, Cyclone. It never really happened. Well, I have to listen to my conscience then. I'm announcing my retirement. No, Cyclone. No, you can't do that. We got a whole bill lined up for the rest of the year. We got projects all the way to the other. I shall give you one more fight. Find me opponents worth battling, and I will have a single signature battle, and then I am saying goodbye to the arena whatsoever. But people rely on you for the arena. It's a big industry. It's a corrupt industry. It supports criminals and gambling and violence. That's not the message we should be sending to the children. My conscience rabbit is right. I need to start afresh. One more battle. Find me a contestant that will make me go down in history. Something exotic, something strange, something way out there. And I'll give you one last battle. You'll only cash in on me one more time, and then I'm starting anew. You're making a terrible mistake, Cyclone. I have spoken. And it shall be free for children. Aha, you're kidding me. Come along, children. There will be, come and see Cyclone at the arena very soon. Hooray!
That were different than I expected.
Yeah.
Now you're a conscience rabbit.
Phoenix new calling to be everyone's conscience.
Disappear in
Jiminy
the middle of
Cricket.
the night. Yeah. Disappear as quickly as he came.
I suppose, like, because there's going to be like a story now, isn't there? Like, if the school picks up and is actually, it's like the conscience of Westgate comes out when needed to remind people to be decent.
He takes the form of a very well dressed rabbit.
That does sound like something that would be a fairy tale, though, wouldn't it?
It does.
'Tis the night before Christmas, and the arrogant pit fighter stood, preaching and preaching, of course he don't care.
And a rabbit of Snow White appeared in best dress.
To speak plain truth, that often ignored.
And allows you to do the rest.
All right. So at last, the Warforge artisan, you make it to like the market side of town, and there are markets all over the place. And what was it you were looking for?
Either someone to talk about crafting with, so like a den of crafters, or a place to buy crafting materials and also talk the ear off of the salesman.
Yeah, sure. And people are very interested in you. You're exotic here, and you don't frighten people in Westgate. Your appearance is fascinating to people. At first, they think that you are stock, and that you are for sale. Then they realize that you're not. Well, think of how much excitement there would be if you walked down the streets of Tokyo and you were a robot. and an android robot walking down the streets of Tokyo, trying to make friends and influence people. It'd be a hit. The media would be all over you, and that's what's going on here. You're getting the adoration that you've never received before.
Not to mention his spider dog thing that walks around with him.
Right? It's a little bit creepy, but no more creepy than Boston Dynamics.
All right. By the way, since we're telepathically connected, in the background of everyone's conversation and stuff, you guys see like crafting techniques with all of his tools and stuff just playing in the background, all that. So you see him inlaying metal and carving out a bow and stuff like that. That's constantly going on in his head.
Just hear this constant mumbling, like, okay, and now I'm gonna cut that there, and this goes there.
So yeah, if you're looking for fellow artificers, you can find them. Or if you're looking for sponsors who want to help invent the telegraph and the printing press, then they're here as well. There are people who have blueprints for a submarine, an apparatus of Qualish, which is like a giant lobster that you climb inside and operate through levers. If it's anywhere and it's not in Waterdeep, it's going to be in Westgate. Westgate's a lot smaller than Waterdeep, but it's even more mercantile, and everything is here. Everything.
Can this submarine also go on land?
A great idea. He alters the blueprints to make it so that it does. It becomes like the apparatus of Qualish does, but the submarine does not. The submarine is like a manta ray. The apparatus of Qualish is like a crayfish.
Okay. Are there blueprints for that? Because that would be awesome to make for our army.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're not cheap. The blueprints for the apparatus of Qualish. Probably 2,000 gold pieces.
I will telepathically ask the party about making it, if I can get it to make it.
So I'll ask, what on earth is an apparatus of Qualish?
He's going to go into this deep explanation of everything it can do and all that, and how he would make it and all that. So you just get flooded with a bunch of words.
I guess.
But the basic gist is like, yeah, that
just
you hear
like,
all of that.
He just probably just said like what sounds like a robot insect, or like crab. Oh, there's more.
It's like you've just asked a Warhammer fan to explain the Horus Heresy, and he just spends the next 24 hours going into detail.
Yeah.
He quotes it so many times that he might as well have read the book from start to finish to you.
I could see its tactical applications, like a tank and an infantry formation, pushing forward and spearheading the assault.
Yeah. And we also have a team of artificers that could help me make a few of them, maybe.
We could use this against the dragon.
Yes.
It's immune to psychic damage, which is the big attack that keeps fucking us all. You just hide inside of it. Peek out, shoot, close the door.
I was just saying, just have like one person like drive it and 9 like level 1 artificers spamming mending on it.
Yeah. Well, it's quite a weird contraption, no doubt, but I can see its applications, and we have enough money to be able to make room for it in our budget.
And I think Artisan can definitely make it.
It can be Artisan's little pet project.
That, yeah. Imagine how terrifying that would be for people that had never seen one before.
Very like a giant mecha lobster.
Yeah.
That's it, mecha lobster.
Yeah, I think we can. I think we can make room for it in the budget.
All right,
have-
2,000 gold pieces for the just for the blueprints alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
building it probably costs a lot more, but I think we can pay for it.
I think from what someone noted, it was 10,000, but I can make things a bit cheaper.
And
I think.
the rare thing in this equation would be the blueprints. That might be the
Yeah.
only blueprints like this side of like Waterdeep.
Right, I'll deduct 2,000 gold from the party wealth, and I guess you can consider that bought.
Now the guy selling the submarine, it tells you that his idea is much better. You've already paid for the apparatus's blueprints, but he gives you a look at the blueprints, and I'll post those blueprints in Discord. His thing is much more high tech than the apparatus. The apparatus is simple by comparison, but I guess that's probably is not really any surprise, since a submarine manta ray is, I guess, more complicated than a mechanical crab.
Ooh. Could I combine the two? Because that one looks a lot bigger.
It is a lot bigger. It's huge. It's much bigger.
Like,
And
So
he
I
wants
can-
5,000 gold pieces for these
just,
blueprints.
just imagine like if Flightless looks down at the blueprints, like yeah, I don't need to buy them anymore. Walks outside and forges one with his perfect memory.
I could technically do that and share the image telepathically
Can you share images?
and ask him to write it down.
I don't think Riley Static Bond does image. I think it just does voice.
Can you quote the spell again?
Can communicate.
It says they can
telepathically.
communicate. It doesn't say
That's DM Fiat then.
whether or not they have a common language. Possible over any place. It doesn't say specifically words. It just says
Yeah,
communication.
and because it also bypasses language, which is why Kenku can just talk through it.
I'm not sure, honestly.
What is your rolling on it, Arctic?
I couldn't really hear. A telepathic bond.
Could I look at it, because it doesn't say it has to be words? It's just telepathic communication, and it bypasses language. If I look at it, can I pass that image on to Flightless, and he can just draw everything up from his perfect memory?
Communicate telepathically. Yeah, it would be technical jargon. It'd be like reading out a textbook. Yeah.
You'd screw your
So
fellow crafter over like that.
Is that no?
It's more like it's complicated
Okay.
rather than a yes or a no.
But I suppose just later you can just say, "This is my crafter friend. He wants to have a look at your thing too."
All right. I also want to use my building knowledge and crafting knowledge to see if these blueprints are legitimate.
Or like, would it even work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm lagging pretty heavily, so I'll type it out.
Can't see how many people can fit. Oh, it can hold 2 tons. 10 passengers, 8 crew. For the manta ray.
Yeah, I mean that is fair. Like he is in an industry of intelligent people.
Yeah. I guess Artisan will spend like 10 minutes and talk to him about its concepts and if it would even work.
So he won't let you see the plans for 10 minutes, only 10 seconds.
Yeah, discussing
but
it
he's
with him.
But he's certainly happy to talk to you about the concept. And it's a submarine. It's revolutionary. He thinks that this is going to revolutionize naval warfare. How are you supposed to fight a submarine? You can't. You know, there is not going to be a ship in the inner sea or the trackless ocean that can fight back against this device. The only thing that will stop it is submarine units like Tritons and giant sharks and Swagan and other things that can go underneath the water. Against ships, um, this thing has no rival.
Actually, can you take us to the map of the Dales? The one with Zental Keep on it.
Yeah, sure.
Because I've actually got some strategy we might want to do.
This one or the other one?
Zental Keep's right on the ocean, or right on the sea.
Yeah. It is.
So I'm getting, because it's the capital of the Zental. So they probably get a lot of stuff in through like trade and like over the Moon Sea. So I'm saying if we like buy this out and we have access to submarines and our opponents don't, we could probably just deny a lot of access to Zental Keep from the Moon Sea.
Mm-hmm.
So even if we don't build one immediately, we can just buy it and just put it in the vault until, well, just simply to prevent everyone else from having it.
Yeah.
And then once we have resources, we can just, patrol the Moon Sea and just sink any Zentarum vessels any vessels that go into Zental Keep.
Yeah. I want to ask if he can make adjustments, because there's creatures obviously that basically swim through the sand. Can he make adjustments to the blueprints to where it could go through sand?
He thinks so. Yeah. But like, what sort of commission are we talking for him to do so?
An adjustment to the blueprints, or what he would think I would have to do it. How I would adjust the blueprints, maybe.
Yeah, look, the way he looks at it, this is a great project. It's already fantastic. You'd have to commission him to make any further adjustments, because it's like engineers, physicists, they don't work for free. They're very, very expensive. To give you an idea, we'll have a look at servants and mercenaries, the chart, and that should tell us, because he's right up there. Servants and mercenaries. Here we go. Oh no, there are servants and mercenaries. That's not the one I wanted. Books, hordes.
Standard
effects.
wages under the notice boards.
Notice boards, right? Like, I can never find this. Notice boards. What's notice boards underneath?
Standard
information. And then notice boards. It's the second one down.
Thank you for that. Okay, so let's have a look and see what experimental nautophysicists would possibly fall under.
Specialist?
Yeah, specialist. Yeah, so 120 gold pieces, at least. But that's about right. A master crafter, a clockmaker, a nautical physicist. You'd want to pay him at least 120 a month, which isn't that much really. So yeah, I guess it's cheaper than I'd anticipated.
All right.
I also don't think the school mistresses in Westgate are getting 600 GP a month.
Yeah, he might fall more under the astrologer, so maybe 600 gold pieces is, because he'd be a leader, like a Carl Sagan type figure. Yeah, so probably 600 gold pieces a month, which is still pretty damn cheap for a dude who designs who revolutionizes nautical warfare.
Yeah. What if we? How long are we going to be here?
Well, 7 days.
Okay. How long does he think it will take to adjust his creation? Because it's not thinking of a
Probably a
completely
month.
new thing; it's more like adjustments. Okay. Hell, Artisan might just be AFK and helping him for the week that we're here. Think of it.
But just to be like, what? So you want this? You just want like a sand submarine? Is that what you're wanting?
So I want the water one for the Moonsea, but also an adjustment to that original design to make it better for taking Teddy more.
I'm saying, do you think you could do that just yourself?
I think so.
You'd have to buy the
Honestly.
blueprints to begin with. So
Yeah.
So give him 5,000 gold pieces for the blueprints, another 1,000 gold pieces to get to work, and he will adjust the submarine if it's possible.
Okay. Are y'all fine with?
It just depends
Would
how
Artisan be
how
capable
hard
of making that adjustment himself?
Say that again.
Would Artisan be capable of making that adjustment himself?
You'd have to buy the blueprints to work that out.
Yeah.
You couldn't even make a guess until you bought the blueprints.
Okay. Are you all right with me buying the blueprints then?
I
think it would greatly help. And
I'm thinking, like, depends how hard we want to go against the Zentarum, and if buying it from him means that he won't sell it to anyone else, I think that's definitely worth it.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Was 5k right for the blueprints?
Yeah.
It's a non-fungible token.
Yeah, we can afford it. We still have like hundreds of thousands of gold worth of assets.
Yeah. All right.
And just
All
think,
right.
like
You
in the
now-
future, when we have our submarine just raiding the Moonsea, just destroying everything that comes out of Zental Keep.
And a sand sub to fuck up Tediamar and the other base that's in that area. The sand fort.
Really interesting concept.
Yeah. Plus, it would most likely be protected by the things that dwell in the sand, being a fucking tank. And we got plenty of dwarves that would be able to pilot and man it.
Although, how resistant is it really? It says 200 hit points. But does it have any resistances?
Condition immunities, damage immunities. I can't read it. The hull has a 20 AC.
I'm just wondering.
Damage threshold of, is that 15?
It has a damage threshold, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So does that mean that basically like the first 15 damage it takes is ignored?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just a little worried because if we were to use it in a warfare scenario, it's a pretty large target, so I imagine people shooting at it would have advantage to hit it or something like that. And a whole contingent of archers unloading like 100 arrows at it, it might not hold up very long.
Each one would have to deal 15 damage plus whatever to damage it at all.
True, but that's not really how the warfare works. It's like one big hit of damage.
It does have 14 decks.
Like if, let's say, I don't know, they roll a 6 on their damage, and then that's times 10 for a horde. So it does 60 damage minus 15, it still takes 55 damage. 45, I think, actually. But it's still a lot.
We also might be able to adjust it to be stronger.
Possibly. If you were to, like, I don't know, plate it with adamantine, then it might get a higher damage threshold, I'm not sure. But either way, I think it's good. It's a good thing to have access to.
Yeah, both of them. And I think having both blueprints can help in combining them too.
Yeah. All right. I'll deduct another 5k then. I think we're all in agreement that we can use it. Both.
It's funny that it has 100 hit points when we have, on average, 100 hit points each. So we're as strong as the tank. But this can also be a transport vehicle.
Stronger than a tank. A lot of us have higher AC than 20.
Yeah. And it also has a 2-ton cargo hold, so we can store food and water in it.
It's pretty cool. No longer need horses or anything. We should just like going down the trail to our next destination, and carriages ride past, seeing this mecha lobster just going about its business.
It'll be great.
Attacks from the air are their only weakness now. We have no air force.
Yeah, the mecha lobster doesn't have any AA guns built into it, unfortunately.
So what do you mean? We have a single raven now. I mean, it can't attack, but I mean, it can fly.
Squawk at them annoyingly.
I suspect they have wyvern riders in Zentharum.
Yeah, there's a good point though. That we don't really have any way to counter any aerial units, apart from archers, of course.
We do have Phoenix really good with the bow.
Yeah.
True.
We can also just have Artisan make a helicarrier.
Artisan invents a helicopter.
With seeking missiles? No.
God. Zentharum think we're prepared, and we roll up with modern era technology. And M1 Abrams rolls up.
Yeah.
An adamantine M1 Abrams.
Yeah, unfortunately though, you can't attack air. Armies of tanks get decimated by a small air force.
Yeah, shame.
But this one can go underwater or understand if we adjust it.
Yes, that's good. That's why I think that's a good tactic.
Yeah, you can burrow under the sand, get closer to their formation, then burst out from underneath them. That would be pretty devastating.
And you can also make this have an electrified hole. So you could do that. Does DC 15 saving thrower take 4d10 lightning damage on a failed save, or half as much on a success?
It'd be useful for anybody that tried to climb on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that just for anything that touches it, or yeah, do you have to stand on it to take that damage?
When activated, electrified for 1 minute. Any creature that comes into contact with the outer hull.
So any large creature like a dragon that attempts to fight it, would every time it makes a hit against it, it would take damage.
Yep.
Unless it breathes fire on it.
It's immune to poison, psychic, blinded, charm, deafen, exhaustion, frighten, incapacitated, paralyzed, petrified, poison. Don't know what that is. Stunned, unconscious.
Well, I suppose it's not something we can really take advantage of at the moment. We have the blueprints, but constructing them will take quite a bit of time, I imagine.
Yeah. How much can we fit on that ship? Because I would love to get a lot of material, like metallic materials and all that, to take
A few
back.
tons. Yeah, a few tons. It's not a very big ship, but it's still a ship, and so a few tons.
All right. Would you all be all right with funding our war fund of materials?
So it depends how much it costs exactly. But I guess we can leave that for another time, though, because I think we still have our primary objective we've yet to complete, which is to find Gerald.
Yeah.
Mermaid's bosom.
1 pound of iron is apparently 1 SP, if we want to go that route.
Certainly could. So
We could do steel to make it stronger,
it would be stronger
which
with
is
steel, I
4
imagine.
GP. 4
I
GP
think,
a pound.
I think myself and Moog were hanging out sort of nearby the Mermaid's Bosom. Just
Yeah,
like
sure.
a nearby street, just so that we can come running to Flax's aid within a minute if need be.
Sure.
I feel like
Whereas,
this was,
Flight,
he was just trying to blend in, mostly trying just to lay out like the signs that someone wants to meet like, with Harper.
All right. Well, just before we get to that, I know we don't need any further distractions, but just before we do, since we're already in the market, there are a couple of things that you might be interested in. First of all, there are red wizard enclaves here, so you can buy magic items at discount prices. But there is first of all, so that was first of all. So second of all, people are selling dwarven artifacts, dwarven plate, for example, that allegedly come from the Brightblade tombs. So they're actually selling the stuff. Did we ever sell any stuff to Faramir?
I can't really remember.
Can't really remember. If we did, it's on sale here in Westgate. So anything that we might have sold in the past to someone like Faramir is now being sold here at higher prices. So just it probably doesn't. I don't know if it interests you or not, but I thought I'd mention that the stuff that stuff that we've fenced on is now being sold here. And Artisan, since you're the one doing the business deals at the moment, you are approached by an Illithid, a mind flayer. The mind flayer has fancy clothing and some exotic jewelry, and he speaks to you telepathically. Greetings. I represent the Psychoportation Corporation. Perhaps you are interested in doing business.
What does your business entail?
I am selling scrolls of etherealness and scrolls of plane shift at discount prices. I also have other spells available. If they involve psychoportation, we are your corporation.
Trying to close off my telepathic link to that guy. I want to talk to the party. Is there a check or something I need to do to keep it without his hearing?
Well, yeah. They may just make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, not good at wisdom. Buggered that.
So if he is casting detect thoughts upon you, then he's going to get through.
What about with the guidance?
I think you would have needed to done that beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have fucking took Analyte Fortress.
Yeah, but it's too late now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll risk it. I want to ask the party if they think that we should do it.
Something. As soon as you mentioned an aberration, eldritch creature, I immediately sort of like, no, I don't think we should.
Well, we recently stocked up on plane shift, so I don't believe Your services are what we need at this time.
Very well. May I leave a psychic impression upon you, and you will be able to contact me in the future.
Ooh, can I insight that?
Absolutely.
Of course, that's a fail.
He is
Jesus.
unfathomable. Unfathomable.
Hmm. How about you just tell me where to find you if I need it?
I teleport. That is my nature. After all, I work for the Psychoportation Corporation. I might be anywhere. I might not even be in this world.
Hmm. Well then, may chance we'll meet again.
Perchance. It is unfortunate, for it is rare to find enterprising business people open-minded enough to deal with my kind, and I suspect that you are the sort of representative of a party who would prefer to travel instantly throughout the world and beyond, rather than rely on the languid transport of ships and carts and wagons.
Hmm.
But perhaps you are not that person. Perhaps you enjoy the journey. Perhaps you would rather take 20 days to reach somewhere than 20 seconds. I will not judge you any further.
Artisan will incline his head and say good day to you then.
Yeah, and the illithid is gone.
All right. Anything else of import? I guess we can return here to get supplies that we need. We have 7 days.
Yep, and yeah,
Artisan. Oh, go ahead.
yeah. I was just going to say, magic items are available at double the price of either book that we use, sane magic item prices, or the Discerning Merchant's Guide. I can provide links to both if we wish, and as long as you double either of those prices, you can take the lower of the two.
Nice. Can I get
I
a
thought
link
the
to
Red
the
Wizards were
other
selling it
one?
at discount. Go ahead.
It is a discount. You were saying, sorry?
Can I get a link to the the not sane magic item one? I seem to have understood.
Absolutely. I have a link quite close because I posted it in a different group the other day. Campaign info, I think. There it is. Yeah, cool. Copy the link. Place it in the Zentarum. I'll put it in campaign info so that it's not lost. I'll put the other one in there as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so just double either of those prices. And yeah, in response to what you were saying, Artisan, yeah, discerning prices tend to be cheaper than sane prices anyway, so it technically is cheaper, even though it's double, even though they're both doubled.
Hmm.
Oh, both links are already there. So.
I don't think I need any magic items. I have all my attunement slots filled, even my extra
You're gonna
one.
want to.
So,
You want to spend your money on experiments instead, on construction. Yeah.
yeah. I'll also try to meet up with the party, and if they're sitting down somewhere, or I'm going to basically pull out all my stuff and start working on adjusting it myself.
Right.
Weapon of certain death. What the hell is that?
Dread to think.
If you pick it up, you die.
If you damage a creature with this weapon, they can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn. So, Explorer's Guide to Wildmount item.
Ooh. So that could be good against vampires.
Quite possibly. Although I was under the impression that wild mount rules and items aren't a thing.
Yeah, that is a fair impression. I don't know. Like, I guess we basically have to look at each individual transaction, I suppose. Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. I think that's the only way we can do it.
Ooh, Black Razor looks fun.
Black Razor is a unique item. It's not available.
Aww.
I thought it was a unique item from the dragon adventure, I think.
Yeah, White Plume Mountain. Yeah.
Righty. Seeing as we only have 30 minutes left, should we proceed with the main plot, so to speak, or should we preoccupy ourselves with a few more distractions to whittle away the time?
I didn't hear the question. I thought it was for the party, not for me.
I thought it was for the
bosom.
party.
I
Yeah.
don't really mind either way.
Good.
Let's go to the bosom.
Okay, then progress the main objective.
Yeah. And as I said before, Artisan's going to be preoccupied with his stuff.
All right. So, do we go to the mermaid's bosom? Having
I
found
believe
it.
so. Yeah.
We believe
Very
that
cool.
I think
character.
Flightless specifically goes to the mermaid's bosom, whilst the rest of us kind of hang out nearby.
Because
Yeah, because the idea is not to scare the guy off.
Right. Okay.
Do they happen to have a Tome of Clear Thought?
What's it do?
Studying it for 48 hours over a 6-day period or fewer increases your intelligence by 2.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I'm a bit. Yeah. Maybe. I'll have to have a think about the ones that increase stats, but probably. Sane Magic Items Prices doesn't list them at all because they think that DM should never give out items that increase stats because it breaks bonded accuracy. What's the price in the other one? If it's like 50,000 doubled to 100,000, then yeah, probably. But if it's less than that, then probably not. All right. Well, just go through it during the week and post things, and we'll have a look at them on a case by case basis. I've shared them with you now so that you're able to look at your downtime if you want to do that in your AF away from keyboard time, whatever it's called. I don't know. Is that when you're not playing D&D? Is that downtime in real life? I think so. I think that's downtime. Anyway, so
It's called the ad break.
did we say the ad break? Do we say that Flightless is the one going to the bosom, or
I think Flightless is the one actually going in, but the rest of us are hanging out nearby, so we can come to his aid
right?
if need
Very
be.
cool. Very cool. Flightless, you go into the mermaid's bosom. There are some unusual clientele here, mostly sailors and merchants and bards. There's a lot of musicians and people here. But the people that stand out, perhaps more than anyone else, are three sea elves. Three sea elf girls. One has green hair, one has purple hair, and one has kind of golden hair. They're all basically naked, not quite, but basically naked. Certainly topless, and the bottom part is exposing a lot as well. And these three gorgeous, exotic skinned sea elves with blue and green skin are the center of attention, not surprisingly. But the bards don't seem to mind, even though they're not getting maybe as much clientele as they wish. They're getting an eyeful all the same. And these three, and honestly, that's worth it. these three sea elves are getting drunk and basically having like a bachelorette party or something. Just we've probably all seen young women getting drunk together and having the time of their lives, and that's what these three sea elves seem to be doing. They're from out of town, obviously, because they're sea elves, and they're just living it up here in the big city and getting all the attention they could ever possibly want.
Okay, so I guess in his guise of just a sailor, you probably go, get like an ale or something, and then just sort of amble about the tavern, like laying down his like signs.
Yeah.
Giving like a few symbols, like hand signs. Maybe put like a piece of like graffiti, like heart. But he will be listening to the bachelors, see if there is actually anything more to them, or they are just tourists.
The barkeeper, who is a centaur, points over towards one of the Gorkas, one of the bards who's watching the sea elves. Here's your man. Tell him that you've come to return your broken harp.
With a grateful nod, he'll head off to the guy, like the tavern, like the hut. I guess literally using the centaur's voice, he will give I have come to return my harp. I've come to...
Oh. Hey there. How are you? Name's Cody. You from out of town, are you?
So I'm looking through my greetings in a completely different voice.
Hey, what's up? You got a frog in your throat?
Yeah, he'll be like more like a raven. But then he'll move on to like the actual business, like going. Sorry, what was the name of the person we're looking for?
Joral.
Joral, yeah.
It's like, I am friends with Joral.
Oh, you're totally friends with Joral? Oh wow, it seems like he knows everyone, right? Oh wow, you go back far. How long you known him?
I guess you probably heard this someone called music since you worked with the Sembians.
I mean, sure he does, but he works with anyone. He got a new employer now, though. Things are changing here. You know what I mean? Like everything is kind of different now. Things are really changing down here. What with everything that's happening in Cormir, place is falling apart, so they say.
I suppose swapping back, like again to like the more aggressive drows, like I need to speak to him.
Like it's like not that easy, man. I gotta know more about you, and like you seem kind of shady. I think you're hiding something. You ain't speaking plainly to me, are you? And he lights up a long cigarette that has a pungent stench. It's not tobacco.
I suppose pretty much the game's like he'll sort of reach out his hand to, so you could like clasp it.
What? He tries to give you like a five. Give you five. Slap your hand.
And I guess
Wait.
suppose for the instant he touches it, like the illusion is temporarily broken.
Oh wow!
That's
You're
detect magic.
like magic. That's cool, man. Like and he looks at a black feather that he's got in his hand from where he slapped you. like I can turn into a raven as well. Like I see I've got a talent. But hey, say what do you want Gerard for anyway? How do you even know that name? I get a feeling you ain't his friend after all.
It's like he has information.
Well, yeah, of course he's got information. They ain't nothing he don't know. But why does he want to know you? Man, I'm not. I ain't digging this,
Like,
man.
my compatriots are generous.
Well, Gerald's he's like rich as a king, man. He don't need money. He ain't after that shit. He ain't like that. He only deals with people he can trust. And man, I don't know if I can trust you.
He'll pull out because he probably doesn't have this one. He'll like that. Like, I'm working for the best interests of Cormier. Like that chaos is not good for the country.
Oh man, you're working for Princess Alisair?
It's like, what is it? Like, one of my friends is, and it is a person whom I trust.
Probably lagging, hey?
I'm lagging in the real life as well.
Oh
So
wow.
It's just like, I have a...
Man.
He was like, I am friends with the paladin, if you would trust their word over mine.
Oh wow, you're friends with a paladin? Well, that's cool, man. And you work for the princess? She's totally hot. I love that girl. I ain't never met her, but man, I think that she's really cool. Really fucking cool, man. Oh wow, your paladin, is it like what are they into? Are they like the men? Some paladins they got like a big stick up their ass. You know, do I have to put this cigarette out? You know, like they're real extreme, like. See you soon. What sort of paladin are they? Like, because paladins, man, they normally ain't cool. I mean, they're good people and all, but they ain't cool.
So I suppose, actually being a cleric of the same god, you probably just give the base. It's like, these are the basic rules of Seamorph.
Wow, Seamorph. I don't even know who the hell that is, man. Is that like, are they like foreign? Because like foreign is kind of cool.
And I guess back, actually in Isabella's, it's like, Seamorph is the goddess of the Cormyreans, the right to rule and nobility.
Oh wow, so you're like, oh man, you're like a fucking secret agent. Oh, fucking, you're blowing my mind, man. You're like a fucking spy for the princess. That's cool, man. That's real fucking cool.
I guess,
Yeah, like
it's like,
maybe I can meet this. Maybe I can meet her. Maybe is she hot?
Like, maybe even facepalm is like, and back to the aggressive jazz, like, and you are blowing my cover. And then it says there are enemy agents in the town, and you'll write on the piece of paper Zentarum.
Look, I'm kind of like new here, you know. I work for the Pegasus Caravan Company. I'm like, I run like a wine merchant and I sell bows and shit like that, man. You know, I can hook you up with anything around here. But I wanna help out. If like I think it's real fucking down, man. What they did to that king, all right, it's real fucking bad, man. Like who hurts a baby? Assholes, man. Only fucking assholes would hurt a baby. So like I'm on your side, man. I only want the best for Cormier. But you put in the good word for the princess for me. Can you like hook me up? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mean to, you know, I don't mean to be rude, but man, like she's amazing. She's like my dream girl.
If Lightless just think for a second, he'll just say, I will do this.
You're a real pal. Oh, that's great. Hey, look, I can hook you up with Jarrell, but I gotta clear it with Jarrell first. I mean, like, he don't want to know you, then you ain't gonna get to see him. You know what I mean? Like, he's real kind of bit fucking paranoid, man. You know, but you gotta be paranoid in Westgate, or you're gonna get your ass thrown into the harbor, and the sharks are gonna eat your balls, man. Like, it's real bad around here. This ain't a place of good people, but I can tell you're a good person because you work for the princess, and man, the princess, a woman that hot, she can't be bad, right?
Yes. I mean, trying to he'll, I guess, nod along as he pulls out like a note and starts writing like a letter to Joel. And basically, in the letter, he'll
Yeah, that's right. What
does it?
And what do you put in the letter?
He will put that it is urgent that we meet with you. Like, the future of Cormier may depend on it. If you are motivated otherwise,
Wow.
we are willing to pay a lot for the information you may have about a missing person.
Oh man, this is blowing my fucking mind. This is so fucking heavy, man. Like, I normally don't get involved in shit this heavy, man, but like, I'm gonna drop everything. I'm gonna cancel all my plans. I was gonna go surfing this afternoon, but I'll put that off because this is too important, man. Like this is like fucking royal business, man. You're like a secret agent. Oh shit! I'm your man.
I guess look around, and I guess everyone is watching us.
No, well, no, because there's titties, green titties, purple titties, striped titties. Like like people don't care about you. They like that.
And I guess in addition to the letter, he'll put like the conditions of the meeting are up to you, and are to be delivered to like this, are to be like handed to the same guy, and retrieve the next day.
Maybe. A word of advice, man. Why don't you put in something that you've done? Like Jarrell, he's like, he's a goody two shoes. I don't mean like bad. I mean that's good, right? It's good to be good. That's what I think. So it's like if you've ever done anything, like I don't know, built an orphanage or rescued a puppy, then you write it down here, and it'll help to Jarrell. Man. If you're famous, he'll already know who you are. So you just be honest. Don't bullshit him, man, because he can see through bullshit like through glass, man. Like it's like looking through glass for him. He sees right through you, man. That's why I work with him, because he knows, man, I got a good heart, like I got a real good heart. My heart is in the right place, man.
I guess last PS is like on advice of the courier, and then he'll just put like, if you have heard of like the release of the Bedine slaves in the Dales, like we may be related to that, and then he'll fold it up.
Holy
and then seal it shut,
shit! You fucking rescued slaves! Holy shit! Oh fuck, man! I can't believe it! You're like a fucking liberator, man! Oh wow! Oh, Jarrell, he's gonna be so fucking excited, man! So excited about this.
And I guess before handing the letter, can he actually do the one with the Harper signs to see if he like counteract? It does the counter?
Yeah, man. Look. Yeah, look. I know all the signs, man. And like he's a little bit rusty, but he knows them, and he does have a legitimate, or apparently legitimate, Pegasus Caravan Company contract, and the Pegasus and the Harpers are in alignment. So he just comes across as amateur more than anything else, and painfully so, in fact. But I guess if you're going to have a fall guy, it might as well be an idiot.
I guess hand the letter over to him, like have it, seal it with wax.
Right, all right. I won't break this wax, man. I'm gonna make sure it gets real fucking safe. I'll put it somewhere safe. And look, hey, I got an idea. Why don't you rent a room here at the Mermaid, man? It's a great place. Fucking great music all the time. The fucking girls around here, man, they blow your mind, man. you should rent out a place here, and when Joral's ready, then man, I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up real good.
Okay, well, I guess how much is a room here?
Rooms are anywhere between 1 and 10 gold, depending on the quality and the size.
I guess he'll get a room on the bottom floor, with a window facing outwards.
Yeah, sure.
With the instructions
maybe
that he's
like
not
a
to
5 gold piece room, maybe.
Instructions not to be bothered under any circumstances.
You got it. Won't send you any meals. Won't send you nothing up there. You want it, you have to go and get it yourself, as you say.
Yes, then he'll just lock the door. You climb out the window, well, change disguise and climb out the window and close it behind him.
All right. And you find the rest of the party soon enough. You're an observant person, and Moog Moog and Lady Eleanor are not the masterminds of disguise that
I
they
like to
might
think they're like
themselves to be.
across, like in a cafe, sitting down, like drinking a coffee, like with the big newspaper with the holes cut out, but still in like their big paladin like armor.
Yeah, I'm not
And,
making any
like
attempt to be inconspicuous.
goggles of night vision to hide their eyes. Yeah, sure.
I guess over the link is like, we need to return tomorrow for the response.
Very well. I guess it went agreeably then.
He has a lot to learn.
Hmm.
And I guess he'll add this more cheek because like he is somehow less conspicuous, more conspicuous than most.
I see. Well, hopefully he doesn't go telling everyone.
Hopefully he doesn't tell too many people. Probably corrects you.
Well, I suppose we have some other business we can attend to pass the time. We did come here for Jarl, of course, but we also do have goods to sell and goods to buy.
I guess for next time, is there any dwarven enclaves here that we could go recruiting?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there are dwarves here. They tend to be business people, though. The people who are more like you that have dwarven values usually settle in Cormier. This place stinks to high heaven of corruption, and dwarves are not traditionally a corrupt people. So yeah, you're able to find enclaves of dwarves, but they're perhaps not of the same caliber of yourself.
Don't forget it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you meet up with these, and they're basically mafia dwarves, right? You meet up with them, and these dwarves they're bankers predominantly, and fencers, and locksmiths the sort of locksmiths that break into people's houses. So professional criminals, but they're a cut above the other professional criminals. Again, they're more like the mafia than street thugs. They're not gangsters. They're gangsters. Yeah, if you know what I mean.
I hear you.
Yeah. Good. And,
Not interested.
Not interested. And they send you on their way without being offended. Like they're professional, and thus you're not what they want, and they aren't what you want. No harm done.
You said we could take the lowest of the two if we double them?
No. Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Pick the lowest of the two, because you can pick between this group or that group, and one represents the Red Wizards, and the other represents like probably the Shadow Thieves, and thus you can just get the better price.
All right. If we have enough for it, I wanted to get something for 30k, another Ion Stone. That would really help.
30k is a big chunk of change.
Yeah. But it's a Ion Stone of Mastery, which increases your proficiency bonus by 1.
If you already have one, I don't think they stack.
They do. There's no limit to how many you can have floating around your head.
No, but I don't think Because you can't get the same benefit from the same source, can you?
No, I have an Ion Stone of Intellect right now, which increases my
I thought you already had
intelligence.
one of Mastery already.
No, I didn't realize the Mastery one was a thing until now. But that would help with crafting stuff, and I kind of don't want to lose a arm when crafting.
Mm. Well, perhaps if we liquidate a lot of the stuff that we've got and then hand it out, we might have enough. You might have enough in personal wealth to get it without having to worry about anything like that.
All right.
It's got to remember about funding this army. Even once it, it's plus
Yeah,
winter,
true.
we still need to hold on to some money. Because what was it, like 60,000 a month to like fund the army? What was the price again?
It was a lot. I can't remember the exact amount.
Yeah, 62,000 a month. Well, 63,000 a month. We want to have some money in case it, mistake happens and it goes over how long we thought it was going to take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. We only have a couple of minutes left, but maybe we have some time to sell some stuff. In a place like this, let's see, what have we got? Would it be simple enough to get rid of art, jewels, and trade goods and the like? Arctic.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking to the party. You want to get rid of your jewels and stuff. If you just don't want to go through the bullshit, then you'll get 90% of their value. Trade goods 50%, gems 90%,
What about art?
art 50%. Art's the sort of thing that usually requires negotiation, but yeah, 50% if you just want it flat. You might be able to find it but here's the sort of place that you might find, someone who's looking for it. The Dwarven Mafia, for example, might buy Dwarven stuff and so on.
Well, I guess we'll get rid of the jewels for the very reasonable 90%.
It's a reasonable price, yeah. It's competitive here, and thus people offer a premium.
How much can we sell our items for?
Usually a quarter of their value. Yeah.
Never mind then.
Yeah, but it's one of the only places you'll ever get to sell them, so it's now or never.
Okay.
Yeah, the quoted prices tend to be like a lot more expensive than, say, the same magic item prices or the other ones. So while a quarter seems really unfair, it's not necessarily, because the quoted prices are usually far in excess of sane magic items or discerning merchant's guide anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, that's the jewels. We have some other actual named jewelry as well. Like we have a gold topaz earring, beryl rings, an amethyst chain, etc. We want to get rid of all that too.
Unless there's any like specific spell components that are among like them.
We're holding on to some diamonds and rubies.
Yeah.
But these are things like rings, chains, earrings, that sort of thing.
Yeah, they all count as jewels, so you get 90%. I understand, unless you want to keep the gems because you need amethysts or whatever.
But I'm good at like selling most of it.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to sell it. Does anybody else have any jewels in particular they need for spell components? I know diamonds is obvious, but anything else?
Diamonds are twice as valuable as we need to raise people from the dead.
Yeah.
Remember, we need to keep at least 500 gold for like the man we're resurrecting.
Well, we have 17 diamonds, each worth 1,000 gold pieces. So we've got no shortage of
Talos
diamonds.
comes down and takes half of the diamond and then leaves.
Could I use jeweler's tools to shape the diamond to be like split it, basically?
You mean make them
Yeah, but you
smaller?
won't. But you can't split a 10,000 gold piece into two 5,000 gold pieces. Like that just isn't how jewelry works.
Mm-hmm.
So you can split it, but you're only going to devalue it further. A large diamond is worth more than twice as much as two of its halves. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Turn those 500 gold
Yeah,
piece rubies into diamonds.
yeah, that too. Yeah, it's very hard. Maybe if you've got like a million years, perhaps that'll, maybe. I don't know.
It might be a
Yeah.
bit of a waste of money to use, say, a 1,000 gold piece diamond on a 500 gold piece like revive spell. But the way I see it is we've got 17 diamonds here, and if we need to like revive people or each other 17 times, I think something's gone wrong.
Yes, I think Seamorph might just give up on you on like the 16th time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But if if you wanted to do that, then you'd be better off just selling the 1,000 gold piece diamond for 900 gold pieces, and then buying a 500 gold piece diamond and keeping the change. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
true.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an option here.
How many
What about
more
the
bums
rubies?
that get thrown in the harbor are you going to make me raise?
No,
I mean,
Aha,
this
good
is
question.
just the one that died at our feet. He won the lottery basically.
basically. What about
Lucky
the
man.
rubies?
Like, when there's like a spider in your house, you take it outside, put it on the floor. Like, you don't then go and hunt through your entire house for every single spider. Like that spider
Yeah.
just got lucky.
What about the rubies? We have 32 of them, and they're each worth 500, so there's a lot of gold there.
I don't think I need any of those for any of my spells.
I'd have my 3 for if I need to make another homunculus servant, so I'm good.
Alright, I'll sell 30 of them, and we'll have 2 just left over, just in case we need them.
I think that might be it for this week. That was a lot of fun, despite the technical issues.
Think so.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Sorry as always. There's nothing I can do as
I mean,
always.
your
So
house
thanks
got
for
blown
sticking
over in a hurricane. It's less than 3 weeks later, your sessions again. Like that's just really good value.
Good, man. I appreciate that you appreciate it, because it wasn't easy. Yeah. All right. So thanks everyone. Both those of you who are here and the 2 or 3 people who watch this in the future, and we'll see you all in a week's time.
Yeah, goodbye, internet.
Goodbye, internet.
Later,
Thanks for the session, Arctic.